I want to make something very clear. You should be generating income when you're on these apps. Good morning. Every time you go live, every time you post pictures and reels, whatever, you should be making money. Okay, we're not doing anything for free in 2026. Because let's be real, a lot of you guys spend way too much time on these apps for free. Some of y'all are on here for 8 hours a day and you're not even making a dime. Make it make sense, okay? If you are not generating income while you're on these apps, if you're not getting paid, if you're not selling your products, if you're not getting paid for views, we have a serious problem, good morning, that we have to fix today. Not tomorrow, not Monday, not next week. Y'all love to talk about tomorrow. It has to get fixed today. Time is of the essence. You are getting older, not younger. I also want you ladies to understand this. Good morning. You should be generating income while you are asleep. See, we're building generational wealth. That is the goal, okay? You cannot do that if the only time you make income is if you are actively working for it. That sounds like a job, okay? At some point, you're gonna wanna take a vacation. At some point, you're gonna wanna spend time with your family. At some point, you're gonna wanna do self-care. You cannot build wealth if the only time you make income is if you are clocked in. If you are not generating income while you are asleep, that is a serious problem that we have to fix today, not tomorrow, not next week, but today. What I want you ladies to understand, good morning, is you only need one digital product in your storefront, just one. See, some of you guys overthink every single thing that you do, and you think you need 50 products. Some of you guys are making ebook after ebook after ebook, but you don't have not one sale. Good morning. That's the problem. You only need one product. And that one product that you choose to create and sell will literally change your entire life. How the hell do I know that? Because my digital product business changed mine. Good morning. I have been a full-time 6-figure earner for 6 years. I started during COVID, okay? And when I first started, you guys, I lost a lot of weight. I lost 100 pounds, all right? And on my weight loss journey, I learned how to eat right and I learned how to exercise. So what I did was I took all of that knowledge and I put it in one ebook, okay? I also switched my mindset up in my relationship with food. And I sold that ebook over and over and over again on YouTube, okay? So anything, and I literally mean anything, don't overthink that. Anything that you want to sell, you can. But you know what the problem with you is, ladies? Let's go ahead and be real. The problem with you is you live in fear. Good morning. You live in fear. On my live, fear stands for fuck everything and run. And that's what you've been doing. You've been running away from your brilliant idea, your $1 million idea for years, some of y'all decades, because you're so fearful of looking stupid. You are so fearful of failing. Yep. You're so fearful of people talking about you. You're so fearful of all of these things. And that fear that you refuse to let go of is stealing your dream life from you, literally stealing it. No, I'm not being dramatic. It really is, because let's be real. You already know what side of town you want to live on. You already know what kind of house you want. You already know what kind of vacations you want to take. You already know how much money you want in that savings account, true or false. You have done the vision board. You have manifested and prayed about it for a very long time, but you're still not living it because you won't let go of fear. And every day that you do not let go of that fear that's all in your head is another day that you could have been living that dream life, but you made the choice not to. We got to fix it. Good morning. Now, for those of you guys who have never seen my face before, good morning. Happy Saturday. My name is Coach Jazz, and this morning we are going to be building our online business from scratch. I'm going to be teaching you guys how to create and sell your ebook. But not only am I going to teach you guys how to build your online business, ladies, most importantly, I'm going to teach you how to build yourself. Believe it or not. Most people don't really want the truth. No, they like to be lied to. A lot of people love to be lied to. I'm not here for that shit. I'm going to tell you the truth about yourself. And the truth is, you are getting in your own way. See, you're the reason why things aren't getting ahead. It's not your family, it's not your environment, it's not your job, it's you. It is you, your lack of discipline, your lack of consistency, your lack of confidence, your lack of self-prioritization, meaning you never put yourself first. Let me ask you, how the hell do you plan on reaching any of your goals if you're always doing for others but you refuse to do for yourself? A lot of you aren't even willing to take 20 minutes a day to do for you. That's a choice. We got to change that. You are holding yourself back. You are getting in your own way. You are self-sabotaging. And let's keep it real. It doesn't matter how many courses you buy. Go ahead and spend $5,000 more on courses. Go right on ahead. Some of y'all been doing it for a very long time now. But until you change you, until you start putting yourself first, until you start keeping the promises that you make to yourself, you will never reach the goals that you have for yourself. We got to fix you so that you can stop getting in your own way and finally build the dream life that you have always wanted for yourself, okay? Now, I'm going to be giving you guys a lot of information this morning. It would be in your best interest to take notes. If I know anything about you, good morning. You are human at the end of the day, which means you're bound to forget. Because life and stresses, right? But if you write things down, if you take these notes, anything that you do forget, you can still refer back to your notes and get it done. The key word of this live, good morning, is going to be execution. That's the key word of this live. You are going to hear me say this word 10 million times because I need it to stick in your pretty head. Psychology has proven, good morning, that the more you hear something, the more it sticks. And I need this word to stick in your head because you're not doing that. A lot of you guys are addicted to scrolling social media. You watch live after live. As soon as I get off of this live, you're going to spend about 4 more hours watching other TikTok lives. And then you're going to go watch more YouTube videos. But until you execute, it doesn't matter what you watch because it's not going to get done. You are going to have to do the work. Money does not just fall into your bank account. I don't know what world you live in, but you got to work for it. True or false? You know this. So why would your business be any different? You are going to have to execute the plan if you want any of this to work, okay? One last thing before we move forward. Make sure you guys follow me so you do not lose me because they do steal my videos. They do make fake accounts and then they're going to turn around and message you. Do not get hoodwinked, finessed, or bamboozled on these TikTok and YouTube streets. The more we interact with these lives, the more these lives will get pushed to more people, okay? So start double tapping the screen. YouTube, I see 15 people on here. Start thumbs upping the live. Believe it or not, there are a lot of women who want to start online businesses. There are a lot of women who have a lot of amazing goals, but they have failed to realize that they're holding themselves back. And they didn't know they got to fix themselves and their mindset and the way that they show up for themselves. So just like this live found you, let's allow it to find others. Start double tapping, comment, and share, okay? All right. If you are ready for class to begin, go ahead and put ready in the chat because if you are ready to learn, I am ready to teach. Good morning. Good morning. Let's go. Happy Saturday. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz. So let's go ahead and get started. Nobody's ready. Fair enough. So what is a digital product and how will we build the business? Let's talk about it. Thank you, Bianca. Thank you, Dayla. A digital product, you guys, thank you, Spitfire, is something that you do not have physical possession of, all right? So think of a movie on Netflix. Think of a song on your Apple Music or Spotify. You don't physically have it in your possession, right? It's all out in the cloud somewhere. You are going to create something to sell, all right? Listen, there's nothing wrong with buying courses to resell them. But let's be real. The reason why you struggle with reselling these courses is because you don't have a passion for it. You could care less. You just bought something for a quick fix because you thought you were going to make a whole bunch of money. Let's just be real. Let's stop lying to ourselves. The worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. And that is why it's so hard for you to sell it. But if you make something that you truly have a passion for, something that you actually know about, it's not hard to sell it. Okay, so I want you to think, what are you good at? What is something you would love to talk about all the time? What is something that you have achieved in your own life that you know for a fact other people will want to achieve too? I told you guys I lost 100 pounds. You know how many women want to learn how to lose weight? Hello. So whatever it is, that's what you should be selling, okay? And I sold an ebook. You could sell an ebook, you could do an e-course, you could do workbooks and journals, affirmation guides, whatever it is. It doesn't matter, just sell it, okay? Do not overthink. Now, I'm gonna give y'all 2 apps, good morning, and these apps will change your entire life if you use them, okay? You gotta execute. So not only are you gonna download it, you're gonna open it up and actually get started, okay? If you're ready for app number 1, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. Remember, we said it'd be in your best interest to take notes because I know you're gonna forget. You always do, okay? If you're ready for app number 1, put a 1 in the chat. Let's go, let's go. Also, make sure you guys follow me so you do not lose me. They do steal my videos and they make fake accounts, okay? And ladies, let me ask you this while I wait for some ones. Thank you, Reactive. When was the last time you kept the promises to yourself? So many of you guys, every single year, New Year's resolutions, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna get this done, I'm gonna get that done. I ain't did shit yet. I ain't did it yet. It's still on the to-do list. Let me tell you this. The reason why so many women lack confidence in themselves is because they never, ever, ever keep the promises that they made to themselves. If you told yourself that you were gonna start a business, then it's time to start it. If you told yourself you were gonna sell your products, it's time to sell them. If you told yourself you were gonna lose weight, then lose it. Because every single day that you break the very promise that you made to yourself, you are slowly eroding at your confidence. Confidence is who you think you are, not what somebody told you, but who you think you are. And the problem is a lot of y'all don't think you're anything because you never keep the promises that you make to yourself. That is unacceptable. Unacceptable. If you told yourself you're gonna do it, then it needs to get done. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, okay? Very good. App number 1 is Canva. Write it down. Good morning, good morning. App number 1 is Canva. Thank you. Canva, Canva, Canva. You will be using Canva for everything. So maybe you do want to create content. Canva has thousands of Instagram reel templates on there, TikTok video templates on there, okay? Maybe you do want to start a YouTube channel. If you are not new, you know I tell you guys every day to start your YouTube channel. Maybe today you're gonna listen. Canva has thousands of YouTube thumbnail templates on there. And for those of you guys who do not know, the thumbnails are just those pictures that you see before you actually click the video. This is what draws your attention to the YouTube video in the first place, okay? All of the creators, including myself, are getting their thumbnails off of Canva. And it is very easy to use. Get out your head. They're already pre-made templates. You just drag and drop, okay? And maybe you do want to sell an ebook, which is what I'm going to teach you guys how to do this morning. Canva has thousands of ebook templates on there to make everything all professional and branded. All right. Now, before we get into app number 2, I do want to talk to the woman on this live who is still living in fear. What do we say? Fear on this live stands for fuck everything and run, and that's what she's about to do. She wants an online business, but she's saying things to herself like, Jazz, I'm not tech savvy. What if it's too late for me? What if I'm too old for an online business? Okay, listen to me very closely. Seriously, you woke up this morning. That's a blessing. Every single day that you wake up means that you were blessed with another day to work toward your goals, another opportunity. So use it until you are 6 feet under. It is never too late. So stop saying that. Number 2, you are very tech savvy. Let's stop lying to ourselves because you are on these apps all day. You are on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. You are on these apps, liking, commenting, sharing, and archiving reels back and forth in the group chats. True or false? That takes tech savviness. So you will use the same tech savviness that you already have and build your online business. And number 3, for my ladies who think they're too old, what did we say? We said we were gonna sell our knowledge, okay? So for those of you guys who are older, you have a lot of knowledge. You have a lot of wisdom, which means you have a lot of things that you could be selling. So get to selling, okay? All right, I don't want to hear it. If you're ready for app number 2, go ahead and put a 2 in the chat. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. Happy Saturday. My name is Coach Jazz. If I'm saying anything at all that resonates with your spirit and vibrates with your soul, double tap the screen. Believe it or not, you guys, the more we interact with these lives, the more TikTok and YouTube will push these lives to more people. And there are a lot of women who are fed up of their own BS. They're tired of starting and stopping too. They're tired of not prioritizing themselves in their own life too. And just like this life found you, let's allow it to find others, okay? App number 2, write it down, is ChatGPT. This is AI. Good morning. And you will be using chat for everything. ChatGPT is going to make your life so easy, so simple. So maybe you do want to create content, but you're just not too sure what kind of videos to make. Ask Chat, he'll tell you. Maybe you do want to start a YouTube channel, but you're just a little camera shy. You're not too sure what to say in the videos. Okay, cool. ChatGPT will script the whole video for you. Now all you gotta do is say the words. Hello. And maybe you do want to sell an ebook, which is what I'm going to teach you guys how to make and sell this morning, but you just don't know what to put in the ebook. Fine. ChatGPT will write the entire ebook for you from beginning to end in under 30 seconds. Hello. Ladies, I cannot make this up. It has never been easier than today to start your online business, but the problem is you. The problem is you. It's you, because ChatGPT is free, so you really don't have an excuse. It's your lack of consistency. It's your lack of follow through. It's your lack of discipline. It's the I'll do it tomorrow, and tomorrow never shows up. It's the lack of confidence. Oh, well, what if somebody says this? It's you, okay? So we got to fix you. I gave you Canva and I gave you ChatGPT. Now we're going to put it together and write it. If you're ready for prompt number 1, go ahead and put ready in the chat. If you are not taking notes, tis, shame on you. If I know anything about you, you are human, which means you're gonna forget, because lifes and stresses. But if you write it down, anything that I do say that you happen to forget, you can still refer back to your notes and get it done. Yes, we're gonna get the prompts. Yes, let's go. Make sure you are writing it down. So you're gonna open up the ChatGPT app. In the search, you're gonna type this in. Give me 10 digital product ideas I can sell that solves a problem. Good morning. Give me 10 digital product ideas I can sell that solves a problem. Give me 10 digital product ideas I can sell that solves a problem. If you've got that, go ahead and put got that in the chat. If you need for me to repeat it, this is the opportunity to ask. Remember, ladies, closed mouths do not get fed. How can we execute if we don't know what we're doing? Let's go. And while I wait for some got that's, let me ask you this. Ladies, be honest. When was the last time that you said to yourself, I'm amazing, I'm smart, I'm beautiful, I can do anything I put my mind to, everything I touch turns to gold? Some of y'all don't even know. Some of y'all like, shit. Some of y'all like, shit, I don't know. And that's the problem. That right there. Let me tell you this. The way we speak to ourselves determines how we show up for ourselves. So if you are not speaking positively to yourself, you're not going to show up in a positive way. Your internal world is always a reflection of your external. So if there's chaos going on in this pretty head of yours, I know for a fact your life is chaotic as hell. If you sit around and disrespect yourself and call yourself stupid and you can't do this, you're not good at that, I know for a fact that you have people in your real life who disrespect the hell out you too. Because that's how you treat yourself. But when you start pouring into yourself, when you start saying nice things to yourself, you start to believe it. And when you start to believe it, you start to achieve it. So I need you to start saying nice things to yourself. Even if you don't believe it right now, I don't give a damn. Still say it, because the more you say it, the more you believe it. Okay? We got to stop being our own biggest bully. We got to stop being our own critic. It's not getting you anywhere. It's toxic as hell. So stop. Okay? All right. Give me 10 digital product ideas I can sell that solve a problem. You're going to hit enter. Now, before we move forward, I need you to write this down. This says consistent. She said, yes, ma'am, you are absolutely right. I know. That's why I'm telling you, we got to fix our mindset. It's you holding you back and all of the toxic things that you do to yourself. Okay? Write this word down. This says consistent. Write it down. And then I need you to underline it. And then I need you to circle it. Because starting today, you and I are going to get locked in on the true definition of the word consistent. Because a lot of y'all are extremely confused. So let me go ahead and confuse you. See, some of y'all think consistent means once in a while. If you have time. If you're not too busy. No. Consistent means more often than not. Okay? So, if there are 7 days in a week, consistent means 4 out of the 7. I want you to be working on your goals in your business 4 out of the 7 days of the week. And do not sit there and say you don't have time. That's a bold-faced lie. Take those lies somewhere else. The worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. And then you sit there and believe them. You do have time because you are on these apps all day. The time that you are spending scrolling could be the time that you are working towards your business. Whether you have 20 minutes a day or 5 hours a day, I don't give a damn. But you do have time to work on your business. You are going to have to be consistent if you want any of this to work. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The entitlement has got to stop. Some of y'all think that money just falls into your bank account. I don't know where you got that from, but let's bring it on back to real world. That's not true. Just like you consistently go to work to consistently get that paycheck, clock it, you are going to have to consistently show up for the business. So, if you want to start with 20 minutes a day, go for it. If you want to start with 30 minutes a day, go for it. I don't care. But you have to consistently work towards your business. Now, let's make consistency easy because life is hard enough. Life is lifing and stress is stressing and then bills is piling up. So let's make consistency easy so that we can get it done. Okay, let me tell you this. It is so much easier to be consistent when you do things that you actually enjoy doing. I want you to go through that list that ChatGPT gave you and only pick ideas that you truly have a passion for. I want you to ask yourself, what is something that I would love to talk about all day, every day if I could? And whatever that is, that's the business idea for you. Because let me tell you this, let's be real. The reason why a lot of us struggle with depression, I used to struggle with this too, is because there's nothing in your 24 hours that you look forward to. Your life begins to feel like it's on repeat. You get up, you go to work, you don't like your job, you come home, you take care of your family, and then you go to bed, you do it all over again the next day. At what point in those 24 hours do you do something that makes you excited? You don't. That is depressing. Anybody would be depressed. But when you start doing things within your day that you actually enjoy doing, now you have something to look forward to. Now you're not sitting around upset and hating life because you are truly excited about your day. And then the best part about it is you get to make money doing it. So please do yourself a favor and only pick things that you would truly love to talk about all the time so that you can look forward to it. Ladies, I lost 100 pounds. I'm a very healthy person. Anyone who's into wellness, fitness, you know this is true. Let me ask you, isn't it so much easier to consistently eat healthy foods when you eat healthy foods that you actually like? See, I hate watermelon. It's nasty. I don't know how people eat it. The smell is disgusting. The taste is disgusting. It would be extremely hard for me to consistently eat fruit if the only fruit I'm eating is watermelon because I hate it. But I love pineapples. I love apples. I love blueberries. I love bananas. So I only eat the fruits that I like. And now I can consistently eat my fruits. Okay? The same thing with business, ladies. Now, if ChatGPT gave you 10 things and you don't like none of the things it gave you, then fine, just ask for 10 more and keep asking until it gives you something you want to use. Okay? That is how we're going to easily be consistent. Also, before we move into prompt number 2, I need you to write this down. Good morning. This is critical. This is critical. If you don't remember anything else that I say to you this morning, you better remember this. Money flows where energy goes. Write that down, please. I'm going to say it again. Money flows where energy goes. Money flows where energy goes. If you're anything like how I used to be, you are giving all of your energy to any and everybody. Thank you, Lily. You are giving all of your energy to everybody. You are an energy vending machine. And most of these people that you are giving all of your energy to are grown, able-bodied adults. You are giving all of your energy to your spouse, your boyfriend, your sneaky link. You're giving all of your energy to your children. You're giving all of your energy to your parents. You're giving all of your energy to your friends. You're giving all of your energy to your job and your coworkers. You're giving all of your energy to social media. You're giving all of your energy to the news and who did it and why. And you're giving all of your energy to celebrities and their drama. And by the time you sit down to work on something for yourself, you can't, because you don't have any energy left, because you gave it all away. And now you feel drained, you feel frustrated, you feel resentful, you feel depressed, you feel anxious, because you are literally giving all of your energy away. Starting today, we are going to reel that on in. We're going to start taking our energy back and giving it to ourselves. If people were reciprocating this energy back to you, you wouldn't feel drained. You wouldn't feel resentful, because it'd be an equal level of give and take. They give, you take, you give, they take. But that's not what's going on here. You're doing all of the giving, and that's why you feel the way you feel, drained. It does not make you a bad wife because you want to work on a business. It does not make you a bad mother because you want to do something for yourself for once. It does not make you a bad friend because you don't want to listen to her problems. It makes you human. Ladies, you matter too. Your happiness is important too. So, today, we are going to start telling people no. And no is a complete sentence. It does not need to be explained. No, I cannot loan you any money. This is money that I could be using for my business. No, I cannot give you a ride. That is time I could be spending for my business. No, I do not want to sit here and listen to you talk about your problems. Shit, I gotta fix my own. The answer is no. When you start telling people no, you start saying yes to you. And now things actually get done because you're not giving all of your energy away. Okay? So the answer is no. And don't you dare feel bad about it. These are grown adults. They will figure it out without you. Okay? She said, yes, you were telling the whole truth. Yes. So the answer is no. Money flows where energy goes. When you start putting energy back into yourself and start making yourself a priority in your own life, the money follows right behind. Okay? All right. If you're ready for prompt number 2, go ahead and put a 2 in the chat. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. Happy Saturday. My name is Coach Jazz. If I'm saying anything at all that resonates with your spirit and vibrates with your soul, make sure you guys are double tapping the screen, like, comment, and share. The more we interact with these lives, the more TikTok and YouTube will push this live out to more people. And believe it or not, a lot of women don't realize that they're holding themselves back. They don't have a clue. They don't realize it's them. Yes. So just like this live found you, let's allow it to find others. So once you choose the digital product idea you want to use, you will type this in. Good morning, Jamie. Write me an ebook that helps people solve this problem. Write me an ebook that helps people solve this problem. Write me an ebook that helps people solve this problem. She said, learning to say no. Very good. You're going to hit enter. Write me an ebook that helps people solve this problem. That is prompt number 2. You're going to hit enter. This is what I mean by it has never been easier than today to start your online business because ChatGPT literally wrote the ebook for you. Now all you have to do is copy and paste. Ladies, it has never been easier. I cannot make this up. You will copy what chat gave you and paste it into your Canva template, okay? So open up the Canva app. In the search bar, type in ebooks, hit enter. It's gonna give you thousands of templates. Just pick your most favorite one. They're all customizable, meaning you can swap out the colors and the fonts and the pictures, okay? You will copy and paste. Now, for my ladies who overthink, you know who you are. You overthink from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. And it's not getting you anywhere. It's just keeping you stuck. Write this down. This says KISS, K-I-S-S. Good morning. This says KISS, K-I-S-S. This is an acronym that stands for Keep It Simple, Silly. Keep it simple, silly. Stop overthinking. Your ebook should look clean, simple, and legible. That is it. Clean, simple, legible. Get out your head. All right? Once you are done copying and pasting and you love the way your ebook looks, you will download it as a PDF file. Download it as a PDF file. Once you have downloaded it as a PDF file, you will upload it to your hosting site. Thank you. Y'all better write these down. Stan Store, Etsy, Beacons, Gumroad, and Shopify. Y'all better be taking notes. Stan Store, Etsy, Beacons, Gumroad, Shopify. And these are some of the most popular hosting sites. Yes, there are plenty more out there, but these are some of the most popular ones. And your product only needs to be on one of these, not all 5. If you've got all of this, go ahead and put got that in the chat before we move forward. My name is Coach Jazz. For those of y'all who are just tuning in, the keyword of this live is execute, meaning you actually have to do it. Some of you guys are habitual watchers and you have convinced yourself that if you just watch more content, if you just watch more lives and watch more YouTube videos, then the results that you're looking for will magically appear. Absolutely not. You have to do things in order to learn from things. You don't just watch somebody in order to learn how to drive. You actually have to get behind the wheel and do it, right? Okay. Your goals, your business, your weight loss journey, whatever it is that you want to do for yourself is going to require you to put one foot in front of the other and get it going. The problem is we have a tendency to want to stay in our comfort zone. That comfort zone is familiar to you. That's all you know. But the problem is there's no growth in that comfort zone. That comfort zone keeps you stuck. It keeps you drained. It keeps you anxious. It keeps you depressed. It keeps you broke. You already know where that comfort zone gets you. Some of y'all have been living in that comfort zone for a very, very, very long time. And even though you already know that that comfort zone of yours gets you nowhere, you still refuse to take a half an inch out and do something a little bit different. Why? because it's the path of least resistance. It's all fun and games until it's time to actually get stuff done. Now it's, oh, well, I don't have time, or I just don't know what to do. You do know what to do. You know exactly what to do. You just don't want to leave that comfort zone. But that comfort zone is slowly killing you. Ladies, stress is a silent killer. True or false? I don't have to convince you of that. That's real. A lot of you guys have been stressed for a very, very, very long time. That stress raises your blood pressure. It ages you. You already know that. You already know that. You are going to have to take a half an inch out of that comfort zone and do something a little bit different so that you can finally get the results that you want. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. You're going to have to do something different. That comfort zone is not getting you where you want to be. You got to take a half an inch out. Okay? All right. Now, back to our hosting sites. I use Stan Store. I love Stan. Stan is great. But Stan Store is very expensive. Okay? Stan Store is $99 a month. That is very high if you are not making that yet. Maybe you're brand new to all of this. Fine. Stan Store is not for you. So go ahead and cross that off the list for now. That's not for you, okay? If you're brand new to all of this, I want you to start on Gumroad, because Gumroad only charges you a percentage when you make a sale. They charge you 10% for every sale. So until you make money, you do not have to spend it, okay? Now, what I know about you is this. You're gonna make money. How do I know that? Because you're taking notes, you're asking questions, and most importantly, you said you were gonna execute. So when you do start generating income, I want you to transfer everything over to Stan Store later, because Stan Store has a lot of features that will help you expand your business. Good morning, like Afterpay and Klarna. Ladies, let me tell you what's going on in the world of finance today, in case you didn't know. Buy now, pay later is taken over. And that includes Afterpay, Klarna, Sezzle, Zip, QuadPay. They got Affirm. They got PayPal. There's so many. Buy now, pay later is taken over. People are using buy now, pay later more than they're using credit cards. And it is not just poor people. Get that out your head. No, it is six-figure earners using it too. It is literally the preferred payment option. And if you have a buy now, pay later on your site, I promise you, you will make more. Why do you think they put it on DoorDash? They didn't just do it for the hell. They did it because that's what people are using. Okay, that's why. And if you have a buy now, pay later option on your site, I promise you, you will make more. But for now, you will start with what you have. You will start on Gumroad, you will build your business and start making sales, and you will transfer everything over to Stan Store later. Okay? So what we just did was we made the ebook. We took Canva, we took ChatGPT, we put it together and we wrote it, and then we put it onto our hosting site, right? Now we have to sell it. We gotta sell it, and I'm gonna teach you how to sell. Now, be honest with you, sales is 80% of the business, okay? That's more than half. So we gotta get this right. We have got to get sales right, or there will not be a business. But before we get into sales, thank you. I need to make something crystal clear to you. That process of copying and pasting and making that ebook, that process we just did, should not take you longer than 2 hours. 2 hours. Honestly, it shouldn't take you longer than 1, but I will give you grace and I will give you 2. And I don't care how old you are. Age ain't nothing but a number on this live. I don't give a damn. What you're not gonna do is try to convince me that it takes longer than 2 hours to copy and paste some words. No, it does not. Because you copy and paste reels in the group chat all day. So I know you know how to copy and paste. If it is taking you longer than 2 hours to copy and paste some words, we have a serious, serious problem. One problem that you might be experiencing, and I used to be guilty of this too, this is how I know, you want to be perfect, right? That means everything about you just must be perfect or it's not right. You're a perfectionist. You are the woman who's going to waste 6 months of her life that she will never get back just to overthink her brilliant idea, her $1 million idea, and second guess her greatness. Then when you do decide to get started, you're going to take things out, you're going to put things back, you're going to get frustrated and irritated because it's still not perfect, and then you're going to give up on it again. Then you're going to let 3 more months go by that you never get back just to overthink some more. And when you decide to get started again, this time you're going to ask 20 people what they think you should do with your business. And the crazy thing about this is these people that you're asking, they don't even run businesses. These aren't even people you would trade lives with. But for some reason, you care so much about what people think of you. And then when they do give you their opinion, you listen and you care. Next thing you know, a whole year has gone by and you ain't did shit but waste your precious, valuable time that you will never, ever, ever get back. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. Listen to me, ma'am. I've been there. I've done that. That's how I know. Thank you so much. I have been there. I have done that. My skincare routine, I really don't have one. I'm just vegan. So I'm plant-based. I don't eat any animal product or meat, dairy, seafood. Now, let me tell you this, ma'am. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but sometimes it's just what I do best. And I'm gonna hold your hand. I'm saying this with love. You are not perfect at all. Okay, you are flawed. I am not perfect at all. I am flawed. Nobody is perfect, and we are all flawed. Ma'am, what you really are is scary. You're still living in fear. And what do we say? Fear on this live stands for fuck everything and run. And that is what you have been doing for years. You have been running away from your brilliant idea, your $1 million idea, because you're so fearful of looking stupid. You're so fearful of people talking about you, and you're so fearful of failure. And every day that you hold on to all of this fear is another day that you could have been living your dream life, but you're not. You already know what you want your dream life to look like. You already know what side of town you want to live on. You already know what kind of car you want to drive. You know what kind of vacations you want to take your family on. You know how much money you want in savings, and you know how much money you want to leave your children. You know all of these things. But every day that you hold on to that fear steals that dream life from you. And if you want to dig even deeper into why we hold on to all this fear in the first place, it's getting real. This is self-sabotage. That's what all this is. Self-sabotage. That's why I keep telling you, you are holding yourself back. Self-sabotage. This is self-inflicted. You are doing this to yourself. And the reason why we self-sabotage in the first place is because we have fragile egos. Your ego is fragile as hell. And your ego is terrified of feeling disappointment if it doesn't work. If you show up, if you try something new and it doesn't work and you fail, oh my God, that feeling of disappointment scares the shit out of you. So you self-sabotage by saying you don't have time, you don't have enough money, you don't know what you're doing. You make all these excuses because deep down inside you are self-sabotaging because you are terrified of feeling disappointed if it doesn't work. That's why you hold on to toxic relationships. You're self-sabotaging. Because if you actually remove the toxic people out your life, you would actually get stuff done. That's what would happen, guaranteed. But you'll self-sabotage by saying, well, this has been my best friend for 20 years. And even though she treats me like shit, I can't let go of our 20-year friendship. Self-sabotage. You'll self-sabotage and say that you don't have time, but you really do. You're always on social media. But if you let go of social media and actually started working on your goals, well, what would happen? Well, I'll tell you what will happen. It'll actually get done. But you'll self-sabotage by saying you don't have time. But that's a bold-faced lie. You have a lot of time. You're just terrified of disappointment if it doesn't work. That's all this is. But I'm confused. I'm extremely confused. Because earlier you said you were tired of living paycheck to paycheck. That's what you said. You said you were tired of dragging yourself to a job that you absolutely hate. You were tired of robbing Patrice to pay Paula. That's what you said. You said that you were tired of not having confidence in yourself. These are the things that you said. But let me tell you this. Every day that you live like that is another day that you're still living in disappointment. Because there are still things about your life that you are not 1000% happy with. I'm trying to help you fix it. But we cannot fix it if you don't change. How can we stop living paycheck to paycheck and bring more money into this household if there's no products to sell? How can customers buy your stuff if there's no stuff? They can't. They can't. How can we build our confidence and start feeling good about ourselves and start believing in ourselves if we never keep the promises that we make to ourselves? You have already said you want a business. You already said you were going to sell your products. But every time that you don't do it, you are still slowly eroding your confidence. How can we fix it if you do not keep the promises that you made to yourself? You can't. It's not going to happen. You will continue to be insecure. So in order to fix it, we have to change. And in order to change, you are going to have to launch the ebook the way it is. And I need you to understand and understand that it will never be perfect. So stop trying. It will never be perfect. But the more you do something, the better it gets. The more content you put out, the better the content will get. The more products you release, the better the products will get. The longer you run your business, the better the business will get. But it will still never be perfect. It will never be perfect. All of your favorite businesses that you spend your hard-earned money with today have gotten better along the way. Look at Netflix. Believe it or not, Netflix did not always have a fancy Netflix app. Nope, not at all. They were not always doing comedy specials with Dave Chappelle and Kevin Hart. They were not always having their original movies and series that are now winning Oscars and Emmys. No. And they damn sure didn't have wrestling on pay-per-view. Years ago, before COVID, you used to have to go on their website, netflix.com. You had to make a list of all the movies you wanted to see. And these were not their originals. These were movies that were once in theaters. They would mail you a DVD off of the list. You could watch it as many times as you wanted. And when you were ready for the next movie, you had to mail that DVD back. They did not wait till they had all of the funding and the newest technology. They launched with what they had. And as they continued to run their business, the business got better. The more customers they got, the more money they made, the more they were able to put it into their business and improve the business. But the business is still not perfect. We all got complaints, true or false? You're gonna have to launch. Another reason why it might be taking you longer than 2 hours to copy and paste some words is because you're distracted as fuck. I've already recognized that I am not the life coach for everybody. I am not the business coach for everybody. Because believe it or not, most people don't really want the truth. Most people aren't really looking for solutions. Most people are just looking for somebody that they can complain and vent to. But the minute you give them the solution to their problem, they don't really want it because that's not what they truly want out of their life. I'm not here for that shit. I'm here to tell you the truth so that when you hear the truth, you become aware. And now that you are aware, now we can fix it. See, when you get off of work, you could work on your business and reaching your goals and keeping the promises that you made to yourself so you can finally have some confidence, but you make the choice not to. You choose to sit on the phone and gossip with your friends about celebrities and their drama. When you do have time off from work, like the weekends, you could work on your business and reaching your goals and keeping the promises that you make to yourself so you can finally have confidence in yourself. But you make the choice not to. You choose to binge watch Netflix and Hulu for hours. Late at night, when your children are asleep, you could work on your business and reaching your goals and keeping the promises that you make to yourself, but you make the choice not to. You choose to scroll on social media, laughing at funny videos and sharing them back and forth in the group chats. That's what you choose to do. And the reason why we have all these distractions in the first place is because we're trying to escape. This is all escapism. And the reason why we try to escape is because there's things about our life that we are not 1000% happy with. And instead of you being a grown woman and fixing it, you choose to run from it. But let me ask you, is that working? I don't know you yet. Haven't had a conversation with you yet. Is it working? The worst lies are the lies we tell ourselves, so stop lying to yourself and just be honest. Is that working? Are you getting the results that you want? Are you happy? Are you living life to the fullest? Do you wake up excited to start your day, or are you dragging out of bed? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So if that's not working, then that means it's time to do something different. It's time to switch some things up. Instead of trying to escape a life that we're not 1000% happy with, what if we just lock in and build a life that we never feel the need to escape from? So this is what we're going to do today. Thank you, Timeless. Not tomorrow, not Monday, not 2027. Let's start today. Today, you are going to turn the TV off. Put the phone on Do Not Disturb. Tell your friends you will talk to them later. You're building your dream business and your dream life. You're going to sit down at home. No, you don't need to go to Starbucks because you get distracted there. You're going to start your ebook and then you're going to finish it. Not start, stop, come back next week because we already know how you do. You're not coming back. You're going to start it and you're going to finish it. 2 hours is all you need. If we are crystal clear on all of these instructions, then go ahead and put clear in the chat, because respectfully, there is no point in talking about sales if you don't have anything to sell. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz. We are building our online business, but most importantly, we are building ourselves. Excuse me, if I'm saying anything that resonates with your spirit and vibrates with your soul, make sure you guys are double tapping the screen, like, comment, and share. The more we interact with these lives, the more these lives will get pushed to more people. And believe it or not, a lot of women are tired of their own BS too. They're tired of starting, stopping. They're tired of not believing in themselves. They're tired of giving up on themselves. So just like this live found you, let's allow it to find others, okay? Also, make sure you guys follow me so you do not lose me. They do steal my videos. They make fake accounts and then they message you. Now, we already talked about the product. Now we're selling it. I told you guys a few minutes ago, sales is 80% of the business. That is more than half, okay? So we have got to get this part right or there will not be a business. But I also have to be very honest with you. Most people fail at sales. They fail at this step. This is why you see people with product after product in their store and no sales. This is why maybe you have bought a course to resell and you haven't sold it yet because you never locked into sales. Okay? Now, before you run away and say, oh God, it's because sales is so hard. No, it's not. Sales is actually very, very easy. But people's mindset and their thoughts and beliefs on sales is what makes sales so hard for them. So in order to sell something, we have to first fix our mind in regards to sales. See, some of y'all think that selling means you're being annoying. And you'll say things like, well, Jazz, I'm not a salesperson. What if people think I'm begging them for money? Or what if people unfollow me because I'm talking about my product too much? Okay, let's clear all that up. First of all, selling is not begging. Selling is solving, okay? You have a product, people have a problem and you have a solution. You are not begging anyone for anything. So get that out your head today. Number 2, you don't have a choice but to talk about your product and your services and how you can help people because people will forget. Ladies, people are living their own lives, okay? Life is life and stress is stressing for everybody. And people are being bombarded with content from the time they wake up to the time they go to bed. They're not thinking about you. They will forget, which is why you have to consistently remind people about your products and services so that they can begin to remember. Why do you think I keep telling you guys to take notes on this live? I keep saying, write it down, write it down, write it down. Why? Because I already know you're going to forget. I already know this. That's why I'm telling you to write it down. Why do you think I keep reminding you that the key word of this live is execution? You have heard me say that word time and time again. Why do I keep repeating myself? Because psychology has already proven that the more you hear something, the more it sticks. You have to consistently remind people or they will forget. They will forget. Do I need an LLC business tax ID? No, you need to start. You can fix all that later. You need to start. Now, look at Amazon. Look at Amazon. We all know who they are. We are well aware of Amazon and their products and services. And most of us are Prime members, meaning we pay a monthly subscription to utilize 1 day, same day, and 2-day shipping. And even though everybody knows who Amazon is, and most of us spend money with them every single month, they still remind you consistently that they exist. How? Well, look at those Amazon trucks that you see on the road. You can't even go 2 miles down the street without seeing one. They didn't have to paint them blue and put their logo on it. They could have left them white, but they did it for a reason. Why? So that every time you see one of their trucks, your brain thinks Amazon. You see those trucks multiple times a day. Look at their packages. You can't even go down a neighborhood or enter into a mail room without seeing their boxes everywhere. They didn't have to put their logo on those cardboard boxes. They could have left them blank, but they did it for a reason. Why? So that every single time you see one of their packages, which is multiple times a day, your brain thinks Amazon. Now, let me ask you, do you really think they're worried about being annoying? Do you really think they're worried about you thinking that they're begging you for money? Do you really think they're terrified of you unsubscribing from Prime because they're talking about it too much? Girl, please. They know you're not going nowhere. How do they know that? Because they know they have a solution to your problem. That's how. They know you're lazy and you want convenience. We all do. And they got you covered. So they will continue to remind you about their products and services every single day, and every single month you will continue to spend your hard-earned money with them. For those of you guys who have seen my face before, maybe I'm not a new face to you. I have been online full-time for 6 years. You might have found me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Threads. I am all over the internet. How is it that I'm able to show up consistently and talk about Glow Up Academy and not worry about people thinking I'm being annoying or people thinking I'm begging them for money? How am I able to do that? Because I know I have a solution to people's problems. That's how. People want to start their online businesses. I teach them how all inside of Glow Up Academy. People want to become more confident, so they stop caring about what people think and they post their content without worrying about haters and the opinions of others. I teach them that all inside of Glow Up Academy. People want to become more consistent and disciplined and actually get the shit done. I work with them every single day inside of Glow Up Academy and hold them accountable for once. Do you think I'm worried about people thinking I'm being annoying? No. Do you think I'm worried about people unfollowing me because I'm talking about Glow Up Academy too much? No. If people unfollow me respectfully, I don't give a damn. That just means they weren't ready to glow up. They're not tired of their own BS. They are comfortable with starting and stopping and giving up on themselves. And that's fine. They're allowed to have that feeling. They can be like that all they want. They'll come back when they're ready to actually change. And because I have that energy with my products and services, I sell, and I sell a lot. Because Amazon has that energy with their products and services, they sell, and they sell a lot. And if you want to sell a lot too, you are going to have the same energy. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay? All right. If you're ready for sales tip number 1, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. Happy Saturday. She said, yeah, my packages come this morning. See, they know you want that convenience. For those of y'all who are just tuning in, make sure you guys follow me so you do not lose me. They do steal my videos. They do make fake accounts, and they're going to turn around and message you. And I do want to address the elephant in the room real quick, which is failing. So many of you guys have amazing ideas. You want a business so bad. You have these amazing goals, but you are terrified of failing. And that word failing has you in a chokehold. But what if I told you that a lot of you guys are confused on what failing even means? So let me go ahead and unconfuse you. See, some of y'all think failing means you make your first YouTube video, and if you don't get 50,000 subscribers by the end of the week, then you failed. Some of y'all really believe that if you launch your first ebook and you're not a millionaire by the end of the month, then you failed. And some of y'all are really out here thinking that if you make your first TikTok video and you don't get 10,000 views in 10 hours, then you failed. But what if I told you that's not failing? See, failing only exists when you quit. When you throw in the towel and you say, you know what, I'm done, I give up, I don't want to do this anymore, I quit, well then that is when you have officially failed. But if every single day you just commit to showing up 20 minutes a day, that's it. You have more than 20 minutes a day, but just start at 20 minutes a day. You keep working on it, you keep showing up, you keep trying. That's not failing because you didn't quit. You're still committed to it. The reason why people fail is because they give up. And the reason why people give up is because they are entitled. I'm gonna tell you the truth. A lot of you guys have an extremely entitled mindset, and you have been living in this sense of entitlement for so long, you don't even realize how entitled you really are. And you have convinced yourself that you are owed results in the time frame in which you believe you are entitled to them. You have set these unrealistic timelines because you feel entitled to it. So you've convinced yourself that if you try something and you're not a millionaire by the end of the month, then you failed because that's the time frame in which you said, because you said so. That's entitled as hell. entitled as hell because these results that you have in this time frame is so unrealistic. It doesn't even make any sense. Let me give you an example. I lost 100 pounds, okay? For anyone who has lost any weight, you know this is true. When you let go of the excuses and you just decide, you know what, I'm gonna eat less food and I'm gonna actually move my body, don't you always end up getting to the goal weight that you had for yourself? You do. You know why most people don't lose the weight that they want to lose? You want to know the real reason? Because they had unrealistic timelines. And they said that they're entitled to losing 50 pounds in 7 days. And if they didn't lose those 50 pounds in 7 days, then they failed. That's why. Until they give up. They just give up. That's the truth. That's the cold, hard truth. But if you just keep going, you eventually get the results that you always wanted. The same applies to business. If you just keep going, you will get to the dollar amount. You will get to the subscriber count. You will get to the view count that you always wanted. So for anyone on this live who is so terrified of failing, just don't quit. Because if you don't quit, then you didn't fail. And now you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Okay? All right. So I want to hear it. Nothing about failing. Sales tip number 1, write this down. Content is king and distribution is queen. Content is king and distribution is queen. Let's break this down so it makes sense. Okay, let's start with the content is king part. All right, so content, you guys, is just anything that you upload to social media. And yes, you can be faceless. Everything that we're talking about, doesn't matter if you're faceless or front and center, you're going to do. So reels, story posts, if you go live, YouTube, long form videos, all of that is content. And the reason why content is king is because this is how we're going to get the word out about our products and services. This is how we're going to let people know how we can help them. And remember, we said people are extremely forgetful, so we have to be consistent and post consistently to remind them. Okay, so content is king. Now, one thing I know about people, and I used to be like this too, we tend to allow ourselves to get extremely overwhelmed. Well, let me give you a little secret. The minute you start to feel overwhelmed, you freeze. And then you don't do anything because you just feel overwhelmed with all of these things that you have to do and you're not too sure where to start. It actually paralyzes you. One of the biggest things that I stress to all of my students that I coach is we never allow ourselves to feel overwhelmed. I need you to adapt this type of mindset. We're gonna crawl before we walk and we're gonna walk before we run. Stop trying to just throw yourself out there full throttle because you will burn out. Tried it multiple times, it doesn't work. Moving forward, you crawl before you walk and you walk before you run. Some of you guys are not posting at all because you're camera shy, okay? Well, we're gonna first lock into getting out of that camera shyness. So what I want you to start doing today, if that's something that you struggle with, is getting in front of the camera multiple times a day. You can do 20-second increments, 5-minute increments, and I just want you to sit in front of the camera and talk to it. Not to post, this is just for your own exercise of getting out of your camera shyness, okay? And don't you dare tell me you don't have time. Because the time that you spend scrolling is the time that you could be working on getting out of this camera shyness. Multiple times a day. I want you to sit in front of the camera and talk to it about whatever you want. I want you to cook in front of the camera. You can work out in front of the camera. I don't give a damn. Just get in front of the camera. The more you do that, the more comfortable you begin to feel. And now you're no longer camera shy. You don't feel awkward. You don't feel cringe. Once we get out of that camera shyness, the next step is to commit to posting one 30-second TikTok video a week. Just one, 30 seconds. Once you become comfortable with that and you're consistent with it, now we're gonna up it to 2, and then 3, and then so on and so forth, okay? So we're always gonna crawl before we walk and walk before we run, so you do not feel overwhelmed. Now, the distribution is queen part. Not only will we be posting content consistently, We will also be building at least 3 platforms, bare minimum of 3. Why 3? Because 1 is too close to none. Like that one income you have at that one job. If they laid you off tomorrow, what would you do? You'd be sitting there freaking out, trying to figure out how you're gonna pay them bills. If you put all of your eggs in a TikTok basket and the US decides to ban it like they did last year, what would you do? You would be sitting there freaking out like all of the other TikTokers who only had their eggs in a TikTok basket. I always teach my students, we have got to stay proactive so we are not reactive. In other words, we have to stay ready. And before you get in your head, posting on 3 platforms is not hard. The same exact video that you put on TikTok, you will throw it on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you want to be. It takes an extra 5 minutes. I do it all day. I promise you it's not hard. Get out of your head. Now, which platform should you grow? That's up to you. You have a lot of options. You have a lot of options. I always suggest starting with the platform that you're always on. So if you're always on TikTok, start at TikTok. Obviously, you like this app so much because you're always here. And then just choose 2 more. But I do want to remind you, in case you did not know, YouTube is the most watched platform. It's not TikTok. YouTube has even replaced cable TV. There are more people watching YouTube than anywhere. So I'm going to always urge and encourage you to start your YouTube channel. If everybody is watching YouTube, why are you not on YouTube? Clock it. Now, before we get into sales tip number 2, I do want to speak to the woman on this live who is still holding on to fear, child. She's holding on. She's quiet. She's not saying too much. She's taking her notes. She's double tapping the screen. But in the back of her head, she is terrified. And she's saying things like, Jazz, girl, I'm glad I found this live. This is what I needed, but I don't know. I would love to have an online business. That sounds amazing. But I just don't think I can. You're telling me to post consistently. You're telling me to make an ebook. And then you're telling me to build 3 platforms? Girl, I don't know. I just don't think I can. And honestly, this sounds really, really hard. Okay. Well, before you run away from your brilliant idea, your $1 million idea, I just want you to listen to me. Just listen. Good morning. The very first thing I want you to know is this. I can't convince you of anything. I actually don't have the ability to convince anybody, okay? So I'm not even gonna try. So if you want to believe that posting content consistently is hard, then fine, your feelings are valid. You're right, it's hard. If you want to believe that having AI write an ebook for you is hard, then fine, your feelings are valid. It's hard. If you want to believe that building 3 platforms is hard, then fine, it's hard. But I do want to remind you that the life you're currently living is hard. Going to a job that you absolutely hate every single day is hard. Robbing Patrice to pay Paula, making payment arrangement after payment arrangement is hard. That is hard. Knowing deep down inside, in your soul, that you are worth more than that, that there is a life better for you, and you know it, you feel it, but you're not living it, that is hard. And you live like that every single day. And see, that's what fear will do, that right there. And you let it year after year. You let fear convince you that you can't do any of this. But look at what you are already doing every single day that is 50,000 times harder than this. One thing that I've noticed us women tend to do, and I used to do this too, is we never, ever, ever give ourselves credit where credit is due. We never tell ourselves good job. When was the last time you told yourself that you were proud of you? Some of y'all don't even know. Couldn't even tell me. And that's the problem. Because life's for everybody. And we have all had moments that were extremely dark. And in those moments, we had no clue how we were going to overcome it. But we did. Because we're still here today. And even though you have seen for yourself how strong and how resilient you really are, you're still gonna let fear convince you that you can't do this? I remember when I lost my grandma. I had no idea how I was gonna live without her. My whole world shattered. She literally raised me. And I remember when I went off to college, I would call her every day, multiple times a day, just to tell her what I was doing. And when I lost my grandma, my whole world went upside down. I had no idea how I was gonna live without her. And here I am, 10 years later, still living without her. You are extremely strong. You are extremely resilient. And you never give yourself credit. Look at what you have overcome. And you're gonna let fear convince you that you can't copy words that AI wrote you and paste it into a Canva template? Really? Really? That's what we're doing? Look at what you've already overcome. Look at what you deal with every day. And you're gonna let fear try to convince you that you don't have the abilities to record and upload a 20-second TikTok video? Really, ladies? Are we serious right now? Are we serious? This is why I keep talking about confidence and lack thereof. Because you are already doing resilient things. There are people who couldn't even walk a half a mile in your shoes, and you walk them every day, and you're gonna let fear convince you that you can't do this? This is a lack of confidence problem. This is why I keep bringing this up. Because you can do this. If you can get through what you've gotten through, you can do this easily and effortlessly. And look, I don't have to convince you because you can see this for yourself. There are people on these apps who are in worse off situations than you. And despite what they are going through right now, they are still showing up, building their business. There are women on these apps with more children than you. And they are still showing up, building their business. There are people on these apps who are always in the hospital. Cancer patients, sickle cell anemia patients. And despite what they're dealing with every single day, they are still showing up, building their business. There are people on these apps who are down and out right now. They are going through it. They lost their job. They lost their house. But they didn't lose hope. And despite what they're dealing with right now, they are still showing up, building their business. Now let's just be real for a few seconds. Let's just tell the truth. Some of y'all don't have half them problems. Some of y'all might, and I will give you grace, but some of y'all don't. Let's just be real. Yeah, you got some complaints. Of course, life isn't perfect, but deep down inside, you know it could be 50 times worse. You know that. And even though you know it could be worse, you're not doing it. So what is your excuse? What is your excuse? You don't have one. If we're being honest, you don't have one. And even though you see people who are in worse off situations than you, you still let fear convince you that you can't do any of this. And that's the problem. Ladies, my online business changed my whole life. I can't make this up. I've been doing this full time for 6 years. Made more money than I ever could have imagined from my cell phone, a laptop, and some Wi-Fi. I have peace now. I'm not stressing about bills anymore. I have purpose now. I get to wake up every day doing what I love to do. I have freedom. I get to do what I want, when I want, and how I want to do it. I have confidence now. I keep all of the promises I made to myself. And I am genuinely happy. But before all of this, before COVID, I lived a very, very, very different life. I used to be broke as hell, very insecure, miserable, depressed, anxious. I used to be 100 pounds overweight. I had a 9-to-5 that I absolutely hated. And to top it all off, I used to be an alcoholic. See, I have bought into the American dream bullshit that they sell all of us, but I bought in back in high school. They told me that if I went off to college and got a 4-year degree, I'll be able to live this amazing life. I'd be able to get a good job with benefits and stability. I'll be able to make enough money to travel a couple times a year. I'll be able to put extra money into my 401k savings plan so that when I get too old to retire or too old to work, I'll be able to retire with dignity. That's what they said. So I listened and I went off to college. My mom told me to go. All of my friends went, so I went off to college. Stayed in the dorm rooms, did all of the things. Got me a 4-year bachelor's degree. That degree cost me $40,000. Graduated, moved back home. 6 months later, I got my dream job towards my degree. And they were gonna be offering me $60,000 a year. That's more money than I had ever made. I was 23 years old. I literally thought I was about to be rich. I was so excited. This American dream is taking off. So I decided to move out of my mom's house. I was sick of her rules. I was ready to be a grown woman and do grown woman things. So I went out and got me an apartment. But I didn't stop there. See, I did what most Americans do. I went out and got me a car payment. I already had a car, okay? And the car was paid off. I had my title in hand and it was a good car. It got me from point A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, but it was old. No leather seats, no push to start, no tablet on the dash. See, I had to upgrade to match my new upgraded life, right? That's what we all do. So I went out and got me a brand new Dodge Charger. Couldn't tell me shit. I thought I was too cute in my car. Oh my goodness. And that car payment was $450 a month. Yes, my mom told me not to do it. Of course, my grandma told me not to do it, but what do they know? I did it. And we all know with expensive cars comes expensive car insurance and expensive gas. By the time your girl paid all her bills for the month, I was broke as hell. Broke, busted, and disgusted. Couldn't afford no trips. There were no trips, okay? Couldn't afford to put extra into my 401k. There was no extra money, okay? I was broke. I could barely afford to get my nails done. That's how broke I was. I had another problem. I had to start paying back them damn student loans. See, when I was 23, I didn't think the government was serious about getting their money back for student loans. Doesn't everybody have student loans? Isn't that the American way? Yeah. But they want their money back. The government is not playing with you when it comes to those student loans. See, they'll give you 6 months after you graduate to get on your feet. They won't call. They won't send letters. They want you to focus on getting a job. But best believe when that 6-month mark hits, they are sending letters to the house because they want to see them tax returns because they're going to tell you how much you can afford. And since they saw on paper I made $60,000 a year, I didn't have any dependents, no children, they said I should be able to pay $400 a month. I'm like, what? $400 a month? I don't qualify for any type of income-driven payment plan? No. They left that part out. Middle class. See, when you're in middle class, you don't qualify for any type of help. You don't qualify for $50 payments. No. Middle class tends to be the most brokest because you don't qualify for shit, which means you have to pay everything. There was no negotiations. I had 11 student loan accounts that they lumped under one monthly payment of $400 a month. Every month that I did not pay those student loans, which was every month because I really couldn't afford it, I got 11 missed payments on my credit. In the course of 1 year, I racked up 121 missed payments. My credit was shot. 520. So there goes my American dreams of home ownership. Who's going to give me a mortgage loan with a 520 credit score? Nobody. Not till I fix that. So I'm broke. I have really bad credit. I have one last problem. I hated my job. Nowhere in that American dream blueprint did they tell me I'd be miserable at my 9 to 5. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I grew up very sheltered, okay? And in my early 20s, I was extremely naive. And I believed people and the things that they said. I didn't think people had a reason to lie. So when I went into the interview, my supervisor told me that even though the department was all women, they all got along. And everyone loved each other and treated each other like family. So I went into the department believing that because why would she lie? I learned that in corporate America, it's cutthroat. They not your friends. They'll put on a front. You got to watch them. But that is not your friend. See, they'll smile with you and kiki with you in the break room, but they don't like you. Don't get confused. They will hang out with you off the clock. So they're not even getting paid to be around you. I know this is crazy, but they're not your friends. They will invite you to happy hour. They will even invite you to their house. They'll invite you to their weddings and their baby showers so you can meet their family. But that's not your friend. I know. It's crazy, but that's what they're doing. They will even spend their hard-earned money on you. So when it's your birthday, they will all come together and contribute and buy you a gift. But they don't like you. I know. It's crazy. For the holidays, they will all bring a dish for the Thanksgiving potluck. And we'll all sit at a table and sing Kumbaya. But they don't like you. And best believe, if you piss the right person off, everything that you said to them in confidence is now in your manager's email and you are on the most hated list at work and they will do everything in their power to make you miserable every single day. I was the youngest one in that department and I was 23 and I made friends with a woman who was 31. We used to do everything together. She told me I was the little sister she never had and I believed her, my naive ass. We both wanted to be promoted, but there was only one position. And so what she did was she told my manager everything that I told her in confidence, and I was on the most hated list at work. And they made sure to make every single day that I worked there miserable as hell. It was my fault. I walked right into it. Didn't know no better. I was miserable. I must have put in hundreds, if not thousands of applications trying to get a new full-time job. Nobody was calling me back. Couldn't even get an interview. So I'm broke as hell. I have really bad credit, and I hate my job. For the first time in my life, at 23 years old, I felt trapped. If you've never experienced what it feels like to feel trapped, consider yourself blessed. You are truly blessed, because I wouldn't wish that feeling of trapped on my worst enemy. But let me give you some context. See, trap feels like no matter what you do, your life's not gonna get no better. That's how trap feels. You can try to be positive and optimistic, but it feels like nothing but negative ass shit from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed every single day. You could try to work some overtime and maybe get a part-time job so you can catch up on some bills and get some breathing room so you can finally pay some things off and not be so damn stressed about money. But just when you start to save a couple $100, something always comes up and slaps you in the face. Now your car won't start. Now you got to dish out money for that. It is always something. That's how trapped feels. You could try to pray about it, ask God to help you fix it, but it really begins to feel like He's ignoring you, because you still wake up with the same problems every single day. You start to feel like God forgot about you and that He doesn't care. Your life begins to feel like a nightmare that you can't wake up from. And to cope with my misery, I started drinking. I used to pull up at that job and I would sit in my car and cry before I even clocked in every day. I started to bring that job home with me. You ever did that? So what that means is you've clocked out. You should be at home enjoying the few hours that you do get with your spouse before you got to put everyone to bed and do it again the next day. But you can't be peaceful at home because you are replaying all the toxic shit they said and did at work. These people have stolen your peace. They are living in your head rent-free. You can't escape them. I started to become so stressed about bills, I couldn't sleep anymore. I started to have anxiety. I never had anxiety. I grew up pretty happy. I had a pretty good childhood. Now I got anxiety. I got butterflies in my stomach that I can't seem to shake over a job. And to cope with all of that, the depression, the anxiety, the misery, I started drinking. First, it was just a few drinks a week to calm my nerves, to help me sleep, but it quickly spiraled out of control. And I became an alcoholic. And the only reason why I'm telling you any of this is because if any of my story is resonating with you, you are already doing something hard. Going to a job that drains your spirit every single day is hard. Crying every day because you are so unhappy right now is hard. And see, the reason why I was so depressed back then was because I had nothing in my life to look forward to. I didn't have any hobbies back then. I didn't have any interests. My life began to feel like it was on repeat. Get up, go to work, be miserable, come home, cry, drink, sleep, repeat. Week after week, month after month, and year after year. For the longest time, I thought there was something wrong with me. There was nothing wrong with me. That's depressing. Anybody would be depressed. Ladies, there's nothing wrong with you. Yes, what you're going through is depressing. Anyone would be depressed. But now I get to wake up every day doing what I love to do. And that's the beauty with online business is you can monetize anything. No, your idea is not stupid. And no, it is not too far-fetched. I don't have to convince you of this. Ask yourself, how many times have you scrolled on your For You page and saw the darndest things? Let's be real. How many times have you scratched your head and you're like, how the hell are people getting paid to do this? I'm gonna tell you how. Because they let go of fear and you are still holding on to it, letting it steal your dream life from you. You already know what kind of life you want for yourself. You see it clear as day in your head. You know what kind of vacations you want to take with your family. You know what kind of freedom you want. You know what side of town you want to live on. You know how much money you want in savings. You know all of the things. But every day that you let fear talk you out of your brilliant idea, your $1 million idea, you are allowing fear to steal that from you. Every day. And let me tell you one more thing before we move forward, because I need to make sure you hear me loud and clear. I hope you realize that if you are working 40 hours or more a week, I hope you realize that you are spending more time at work with people that you don't even like than you do with your family that loves you. Yes, you are. See, I literally worked 9 to 5. So what should have only been a 20-minute drive into the city is over an hour because I'm stuck in rush hour traffic. So an hour to work, an hour back. That's 2 hours in the car. That's 8 hours at work plus a 1 hour lunch break. That is 11 hours out of my day gone. By the time I do get home, I am drained. I am exhausted. I feel defeated. You only have a few hours to spend with your spouse and your children before you have to put everyone to bed just to do it again the next day. And let's just be clear, they don't even get the happy version of you. No, they don't. They don't get to experience the peaceful version of you. They don't get to experience the stress-free version of you. No, they don't. They get the depressed version of you. They get the anxious version of you. They get the stressed version of you. You put everyone to bed just to repeat it again the next day, just to look forward to the weekend. But respectfully, what the hell are you even looking forward to? Because Friday, you still worked. Saturday is the only day that you get to do what you want. Sunday, not so much, because you have to prepare for the work week, right? Yeah. So you got to cook. You got to clean. You got to do laundry. You got to go to the grocery store. And you have to mentally prepare yourself for the bullshit sitting on your desk come Monday. Ladies, that is not living. That is surviving. Life is meant to be lived, not survived. I don't know what your religious beliefs are, but I do know this. The God I serve, he loves me, and he loves me a lot. Let me ask you, if he loves me so much, why on earth would he put me here to be hating the life that he blessed me with? Why would he want that for me? If he loves me so much, why would he want me to believe that there's nothing special about me and there's not a better life for me? Why would he want me to think that? He doesn't. He put me here for a very special reason. And he allowed me the opportunity to find it. And my online business allowed me the opportunity to monetize it. He put you here for a very special reason too. There is something very, very special about you too. Your life is worth more than bills. Your life is worth more than slaving away at a job to make someone else rich while you're counting pennies, trying to make ends meet at home. There was something very special about you. But the problem is, life has a tendency to life. And somewhere on our journey of life, we lose our light. Our light gets dim, and then it gets dark. Maybe it was a toxic relationship, toxic friends, toxic family, toxic job. Something happened on your journey, and you lost your light. And now you're really sitting here believing that there's nothing special about you and that you can't do this. But I'm here to tell you that you can. You can do this. If you even thought the thought, that's because you can. Those ideas that you have, try this, give this a go, that's God talking to you. Those ideas came from God. And God would not give you an idea that you could not do. If it was something you truly couldn't do, it wouldn't even cross your mind. You wouldn't even thought about it, but you did because you can. If you even thought about making content, that's because you can. If you even thought about starting a business, that's because you can. If you even thought about selling your products, losing weight, whatever it is, that's because you can. But in order to actually get it done, you are going to have to let go of the fear, because that fear is stealing the very life from you that you want so badly. You can do this, ladies. Yes, you can. But you gotta let go of that fear. You have to. Okay? Okay. Sales tip number 2, for those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz. We are building our online business. If I'm saying anything that resonates with you and vibrates with your soul, make sure you guys are double tapping the screen. YouTube, make sure you guys thumbs up the live. The more we interact, the more these lives get pushed to more people, okay? Very good. Make sure you guys are taking notes because you know you're going to forget. And the key word of this live is execution. She said, just when I think that you're going in positive direction. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Make sure you guys like, comment, and share, okay? Sales tip number 2. People only buy from people that they like, that they know, and that they trust, okay? People only buy from people that they like, know, and trust. So if they don't like you, not gonna buy it. If they don't know you, not gonna buy. And if they don't trust you, not gonna buy it. So how do we get people to like us? All right. You're gonna do this through your content. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, we said content is anything that you upload. So your reels, your pictures, long form YouTube videos, if you go live, anything that you post on social media is content, okay? And the content is also how we're gonna get the word out about our products and services and let people know how we can help them. You're gonna get people to like you through this content by being relatable and being authentic. In other words, ladies, you have to be yourself. See, people connect with people through emotions, all right? So I want you to share things to your audience, share things that you've experienced. Be yourself. See, the reason why some of you guys are struggling with building a community is because you're trying to be perfect. But you're doing yourself a disservice because nobody can relate to perfection because ain't nobody on this earth perfect. And the community that you build, those are the people who will buy your products. So your viewers, your commenters, your followers, your subscribers, those are the people who will buy from you. So you've got to be yourself, okay? And don't let fear take over and say things to you like, well, what if no one likes me? Because that's impossible. Listen to me. There are 8 billion people in this world. Somebody is bound to like you, okay? And I used to be fearful of that too. I didn't realize when you post your content, you guys, it goes everywhere. There is a whole world of people out there who need you. You have the solutions to their problems, all right? There are people all over the world waiting to hear from you. And I'm not telling you this to scare you. I'm just telling you this so you can realize how silly you sound when you say things like people won't like you, okay? What if I let fear take over this morning and I didn't go live? Well, then none of you guys watching would have been able to hear this message, and I wouldn't have been able to help any of y'all. But that's literally what you're doing to others by not posting content, because you're trying to be perfect and you're so fearful that people won't like you. You guys, I have women inside of Glow Up Academy from all over the world. I'm in the USA. I have women in there from Australia, Jamaica, Barbados, Germany, France, the UK, Canada. I have been to none of those countries, but I was able to help women all across the world because I decided to be myself and post the content. So please, post the videos. People will like you, and you are going to help so many people, okay? Okay, we said people only buy from people that they like, know, and trust. All right, cool. Well, how do we get people to know us? Good morning. How do we get people to know us? All right, I need you to go live. And yes, you can go live and be faceless. Just because you're faceless does not mean you're getting out of any of the things that we're talking about. Absolutely not. Going live is the best way to build your community. Now, is it the only way? No, but it's the best way. Why? Because it allows people to get a sense of your energy and your vibes. It allows people to connect with you, engage and interact, and it allows you to promote your products. Now, some of y'all hard-headed as hell, and you're gonna say, Jazz, that's great, but I don't want to go live. And I'm gonna just say, fine, don't. I told you, I'm not gonna try to convince you to do anything that you don't wanna do. If you don't wanna go live, then don't. Don't. But I do wanna remind you, you also said you didn't wanna go to work. You said you hated there. And you said you were tired of living paycheck to paycheck. It amazes me how many people are willing to slave away at a job to make someone else rich, but they absolutely refuse to spend 30 minutes for themselves to build wealth for them and their families. It makes no sense. You see people on live all day and all night selling, especially on TikTok. The internet does not sleep. People are selling, selling, selling. I promise you this, if you go live consistently and you go live with structure, you will make more on live than you ever made at that job. I don't care what time of day or night that you go live, just do it. Now, some of you are like, well, Jazz, I would go live. I'm not against it. I'm just a little live shy. Okay. For my ladies who are live shy, listen to me. The only reason why you're live shy or camera shy or struggle with any type of shyness is just because you don't have enough experience doing it, okay? It's not because you suck at life. It's not because this isn't meant for you. It's just because you don't have enough experience. Maybe you did it once 6 months ago, but you haven't done it since. We have been on this live for 108 minutes. And if you're still here watching, that lets me know that you trust me, because one thing about people, if they don't trust you, they are gone. But you're still here because you trust what I'm saying to be true. So I need you to trust this. If you go live consistently, I promise you, you will get to a point where you are no longer live shy. Everything that you do over and over and over again, you get better at. And I don't have to convince you of that. Look at the results in your own life. You didn't always know how to walk, but now you walk just fine. How? Because you consistently did it. You didn't always know how to read and write, but you do that just fine. How? Because you consistently did it. You didn't always know how to drive, but you drive just fine now. How? Because you consistently did it. So why would business, content, live, anything be any different? If you just consistently do it, I promise you, you will get better. And you will get to a point where you are no longer live shy, camera shy, none of the things. okay? Now, we said people only buy from people that they like, know, and trust. All right, cool. Well, how do we get people to trust us? Okay. There is a reason why I am telling you to post consistently. And no, it's not for your health. The reason why I'm telling you to post consistently is because the more people see you, the more they begin to trust you. Consistency builds trust. I don't know if you know this or not, or if you're living under a rock somewhere, but people work very hard for their money. You work hard, I work hard. We're all out here working hard. And if you want someone to trust you with their hard-earned money, well, then you are gonna have to be trustworthy, which means you have to be consistent. Now, I want to do an exercise with you guys. For those of you guys who do not have a product yet, sit this out and take your notes. For those of you guys who do have a product, but you're struggling to make the sales that you want, this is for you. Now, first what we got to do is remove the ego and the pride. Now, I recognize some of y'all can't do that because you think you know everything. And there is nothing that anyone can teach you that you don't already know, and you're perfect as is. Well, keep thinking that. I'm not going to convince you otherwise. I'm just not the coach for you. Now, for those of y'all who can remove the ego and the pride, and you recognize that there's room for growth and improvement, I am speaking to you. We're going to go to your profile and we're going to ask ourselves some questions. We have to be honest. Write this down. The worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. The worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. Don't you ever forget that. Now ask yourself, is it clear as day who you are, what you do, and how you can help people? And I also need you to ask yourself this, be honest. If you were not you, would you buy from you? If you were not you, would you buy from you? If the answer to any of those questions is no, then you should no longer be confused as to why people are not buying from you yet. There should be no more confusion. But the reason why I say yet is because you have the power to fix it. So, fix it. If it's not clear as day who you are, what you do, and how you can help people, fix it and make it clear so that when people go to your profile, they know exactly what they can expect from you. That is the beauty of life. That is the beauty of business. And that is the beauty of everything that we've talked about so far on this live. Anything that is not giving you the results that you want, you have the power to fix it. But you make the choice not to. See, I have already accepted the fact that I am not the life coach for everybody. I am not the business coach for everybody. And I'm cool with that. Because believe it or not, most people don't really want solutions to their problems. Most people are just looking for someone to complain and vent to. But the minute you offer them the very solution that will change their entire life, they reject it because they aren't really looking for help. I'm not here for that shit. I'm not here for that. I am here to help the woman who recognizes that she needs help. And she actually wants help, not just someone to listen to her complain. But in order to help you, I have to first tell you the truth about you. I got to make you aware so that you know what you're doing and so that we can fix it together. See, every day you have a choice. But the unfortunate truth is, the choices you choose are the choices that keep you in your comfort zone. That comfort zone of yours is keeping you trapped. It is keeping you broke. It is keeping you depressed. It is keeping you anxious. It's keeping you resentful. but that's the choice that you make. And the reason why you choose to stay in your comfort zone, even though you know that comfort zone is not taking you to where you want to be, you choose to stay there because it's the path of least resistance, meaning it's what you're most familiar with. And people will always choose familiarity over growth. There is absolutely no growth in that comfort zone. And that comfort zone of yours is slowly killing you because stress is a silent killer. And a lot of you have been stressed for a very, very, very long time. Anything that you don't like about your life, anything, and I mean anything, that is not giving you the results that you want, you can fix it. It doesn't have to stay that way. But in order to fix it, you are going to have to take a half an inch out of your comfort zone and do something a little bit different to get to the results that you want. And yeah, it might be a little uncomfortable, but guess what? It will get you to the results that you want. See, a lot of people have a trapped mindset. And you've been living in this trapped mindset for so long that you don't even recognize that you're living in one. And you have convinced yourself and your soul that there is absolutely nothing that you can do to fix the problems that you have. And what makes things even worse is we tend to associate ourselves with people who are just like us. So if you have a trapped mindset, 10 times out of 10, you are also associating yourself with other people who have trapped mindsets. So it's just a whole bunch of people with trapped mindsets talking to each other. It's like the blind leading the blind. And that's not going to get you nowhere. But I'm here to tell you, you are not trapped. You are not trapped. And you always have options. Maybe the options that you have will make you a little uncomfortable for now, but it will always get you to the results that you want for your life. And I used to have a very trapped mindset too. And I convinced myself with all of my soul that I was trapped at that 9 to 5 that I hated so much. I was never trapped at that job. I had options. But the options that I had was going to require me to take a half an inch out of my comfort zone. Even though the comfort zone that I was in was keeping me miserable and depressed and having me drinking every single day, I had options that would have taken me right about that depression. But I chose every single day the path of least resistance, what was most familiar to me, even though that zone was making me miserable as hell. I could have moved back home. I had that option. I did not have to stay at that 9 to 5. I could have quit and moved back home. But if I moved back home, oh God, now I gotta move back home. Now I gotta live with my mom, oh God. Even though it would have been temporary, even though it would have just been until I found a better job, I didn't even want to do that. So I chose to stay miserable at a job that was draining me. I could have quit that full-time job. It just found me a few part-time jobs to make ends meet until I found another full-time job. I came from fast food. I worked McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Hardee's. I worked all of the fast food chains. But if I did that, oh God. Now, what if they want me to work weekends? Oh, no. See, my 9 to 5, I had weekends off. I can't go back to weekends. Oh God, no. What? Well, what if I get retail jobs and they want me to work nights? No. That's where I draw the line. See, I have to be off by 5 because that's the status quo, 9 to 5. I can't work close. Oh, no. What if they want me to work holidays? What if I have to work Columbus Day? No, I need Columbus Day. No, I have to have Columbus Day off because that's the status quo. What? So even though the 9 to 5 that I have is draining me and making me miserable, I still chose to stay in a place that was depressing me, making me anxious, than to take a half an inch out and work retail jobs till I found something else. Even though it was just going to be temporary, I still chose not to. Make it make sense. So instead, I chose to complain. I chose to vent. I chose to throw pity parties for myself. I chose to talk about what's not fair and woe is me. I chose to do all of the things except the one thing that would have changed my entire life, which was leave the job. I had options. You have options. But those options that you have is going to require you to take a half an inch out that comfort zone that you refuse to leave, even though that zone is draining you. Even though that zone is making you anxious, it is depressing you, it is stealing your dream life from you, you are going to have to leave the comfort zone. There is no growth there. And you already know where that comfort zone gets you. Nowhere. It gets you nowhere. Some of you guys have convinced yourself that you don't have the ability to fix your problems yet because you just need more information. And you have convinced yourself that if you just watch more lives and if you just watch more YouTube videos, if you just ask ChatGPT more questions, then you can get the information that you need and then you can fix your problems later. But what if I told you you're not lacking information? No. Believe it or not, you have more information than you even know what to do with. You have all the information you need because you are on social media all damn day. You have watched live after live. You have watched YouTube video after YouTube video. You have archived reel after reel. You have the information that you need. You are not lacking information. What you are lacking is implementation, meaning you don't execute shit, which is why I made the key word of this live execution, because you're not doing that. You are the woman who talks about what she's going to do, but you don't just do it. You are the woman who has excuse after excuse as to why she can't get it done and why it's not going to work for her. You are the woman who procrastinates. She talks about what she's going to do tomorrow and Monday and next year, but those days never show up. You are the woman who talks a good talk. You make excuses, you distract yourself, you hang out with people who drain you. That is you. But you don't execute at all. And until you execute, nothing for you will change. You can buy course after course. Some of y'all are habitual course purchasers. Let's just be real. You have bought all of the courses, but nothing is working for you because you are still full of excuses. Nothing is working for you because you don't execute anything. And until you execute, until you do the very thing that you are supposed to do, it won't work. You are going to have to change. You have done everything except the one thing that will change your life, which is change you. You will not change you. You lack discipline. You lack consistency. You lack confidence. You lack self-prioritization, which means you don't ever put yourself first. You refuse to say, you know what? I'm going to take 30 minutes of my day and do something for me. You don't do that. And until you start doing those things, you will continue to get the results that you've been getting. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. We are the common denominator in our own life. And it is you that is getting in your own way. And until you fix you, until you change who you are, nothing for you will change. And year after year will go by, and you will be the exact same spot that you have been in. Watching from the sidelines, hoping, praying, wishing, and manifesting, but not actually getting the results that you want. See, I'm going to assume that you want to become the woman who is consistent, who follows through with the promises that she makes to herself, who is running her business and not caring what people think, who knows how to put herself first and not feel guilty about it, who keeps the promises that she makes to herself, who has boundaries and standards, who knows how to cut people off who are toxic and who drain her and not feel guilty about it. That's what I'm going to assume that you want for your life. But until you will not become that version until you change who you are, because there are things about you that do not align with that version. That version of you that you want to become, she's already within you. However, she is buried under the fear. She is buried under the limiting beliefs. She is buried under the insecurities that you have. And until you change that, you will not become that version of you. You are going to have to change. One thing I have noticed is we have become very entitled in society. The entitlement level is at an all-time high. And you have been entitled for so long that you don't even recognize how entitled you really are. And you believe with all of your soul that you are entitled to time. And you have convinced yourself that if you do not start today, that you will always have tomorrow. And if you don't start tomorrow, you will always have next month. And if you don't start next month, you will always have next year. But I am extremely confused because I thought tomorrow wasn't promised. How do you know that you have tomorrow? Who told you that you'll be here in 6 months? How do you know that? How can you be so sure? How do you know you'll be here in 5 years? Who told you that? You don't know that. You don't know how much time you really have. And instead of you living life with the time that you do have, happy and peaceful and in purpose, doing the things that make you happy, you choose not to. You choose to waste your time, your precious, valuable time that you do not get back on people who don't value you, on social media. You watch TV shows that don't do anything for you. You distract yourself and you distract yourself and you waste the precious, valuable time that you have. Why? Because you feel entitled to time. That's why. That's why. You don't have as much time as you think you do. And believe it or not, one day you will run out of time and there will be no more tomorrows. You are getting older. I know that may be hard to believe, but it is true. You are not getting younger. And you will never be this age that you are in this moment again. Time is your most valuable and precious asset. See, some of y'all don't want to believe that. Some of y'all think it's money. You really believe that your most valuable asset is money. No, it's not. No, it's not. You could lose $500 today. Yeah, it would suck. Yeah, you'd be pissed off. I'd be pissed off too. But guess what? Guess what? You can make 500 more. It might take you a while, but you can make it back. You cannot get back your time. And once it is gone, it is gone. And now you live in regret. 2025 came and left. All of the mistakes and all of the time that you wasted is over. You will not get it back. No matter how much you regret it, no matter how much it pisses you off, it's gone. That time is gone. You do not get your time back. Time is your most valuable asset. And I don't have to convince you of how quickly time is moving because you see it for yourself. Let me ask you, and be honest, how many times a day do you look at the clock and say to yourself, wow, I cannot believe it's 7:47 a.m. Wow, I cannot believe it is March 2026. Wow. I cannot believe I am 35 years old, or insert your age there. If you're anything like me, you do that every day. So you already see for yourself how quickly time is moving, and you still make the choice to waste your precious, valuable time. You're gonna have to change that. You're gonna have to become more intentional with the time that you were blessed with, because eventually you will run out of time. One of the toughest reality pills that I had to swallow in my own life, and this is real, this is gonna fragile your ego, so brace yourself. Your life and the direction that it's going in, whether it's going great or not so great, is a direct reflection of the choices that you make. Your life and the direction it's going in, whether it's going great or not so great, is a direct reflection of the choices that you make. So for those of you guys struggling financially, this gonna hurt. Your finances are a direct reflection of the choices that you make. I didn't want to believe that when I heard that. And I had believed that the reason why I was living paycheck to paycheck was just because I just didn't make enough money. And if I just made more money, then I wouldn't live paycheck to paycheck. Nope. Nope. My finances were a direct reflection of the choices that I made. I was paycheck to paycheck because I was living above my means. I was buying cars I couldn't afford. I was living in apartments that I couldn't afford. And that's why I was so stressed out about bills. That was all my doing. Even though my mom and my grandma told me not to do it, I didn't listen. Because what do they know? Well, I was the reason I was living paycheck to paycheck. Now, some of y'all, your ego is going to try to get in the way and it's going to say, Jazz, I hear you, but I'm not living above my means. It's really hard out here. How is it my fault? When prices are what they are, I can't even afford to be alive right now. That is not my fault. I hear you loud and clear, but I'm still going to repeat myself. Your finances are a direct reflection of the choices that you make, and I'm going to tell you why. Because times have been hard. True or false? This didn't happen last night. Food prices, rent prices, gas prices have been on the rise for years. This isn't new. But every day, you make the choice to do nothing about it. You could have launched your ebook 6 months ago because a lot of y'all already know what an ebook is. You would be making sales today, but you chose not to. You could have started your YouTube channel 4 months ago. It could be monetized today. You could have started your TikTok last month. You would be building your community today. And what did we say? Our community, our followers, our subscribers, our viewers, our commenters, those are the people who buy our products. But every day, you choose not to. You choose to complain. You choose to vent. You choose to throw pity parties for yourself. You choose to talk about what's not gonna work. You choose to distract yourself with social media. You choose to hang out with your friends every weekend. You choose to do all of the things except the one thing that will change your entire life, which is start. And until you change you, nothing about you is going to change. It is you that is holding you back. You are getting in your own way. And that is the truth. Look, I'm not perfect at all. And the version of me that y'all see today is a reflection of the changes that I had to make. I am nothing like who I used to be. 180, complete 180. See, I used to be 100 pounds overweight. And I convinced myself for the longest time that the reason I couldn't lose weight was because I had thyroid issues, which is true. I do have thyroid issues, but that's not the reason why I couldn't lose weight. The reason why I couldn't lose weight was because I wouldn't put the fork down. That's just the truth. And for years, I would yo-yo diet. I would lose 20, gain 30. Lose 40, gain 60. And year after year, I was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But I had to recognize the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. Obviously, what I was doing wasn't working. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So I decided to do something different. I decided to hire a personal trainer. Not only did I lose 100 pounds, I kept the weight off for 3 years so far. Now, how the hell did I do that? I told you, most of the time, the people that you associate yourself with are just like you. So it's the blind leading the blind. My whole family is obese. My personal trainer, who is still my trainer to this day, is the only person that I knew that lived a healthy lifestyle. The only person. He's the only person that I knew that was a healthy weight. I had to get around someone who I wanted to be like. And I had to allow someone to teach me what I didn't know. And I had to allow someone to hold me accountable. And I finally lost the weight. I used to procrastinate too. I was the queen of procrastination. Why do today what I can put off till tomorrow? In other words, I'll just start later, right? And later never showed up. That had to change. Had to change. I used to be full of fear too. I was scary as hell. And notice the fear that we hold on to. These aren't even things that have happened. This is all stuff that we're working ourselves up for, we're bracing ourselves for, and it's always worst case scenario. Why does our mind always go to worst case? Worst case scenario, I post my content, no one likes it. Okay, well, what if best case scenario, you post your content and you build your community and you make sales? What if best case scenario, you decide to put yourself first and you actually get the results that you want? What if best case scenario, you cut these toxic ass people off and you start putting yourself first? Why is it always worst case, worst case? You're fearful of things that haven't even happened. You're making all this up in your head. Nobody's talking about you. Nobody cares what you post. If we're being real, this is all stuff that you are making up in your head. It hasn't even happened. but you are convincing yourself that it will. No, it won't. No, it won't. I used to be my biggest bully to myself. I know a lot of y'all can relate to that. The things that I used to say about myself was absolutely disgusting. I used to call myself stupid on an hourly basis. Let me ask you, how the hell was I gonna run a successful business if I keep calling myself stupid? I wasn't. That had to change. Let me tell you this. Your internal world and the things you have going on in this pretty head of yours is always going to be a reflection of your external. So if you got chaos going on in your pretty head, I know for a fact your life is chaotic as hell. I already know. It's chaos. It's nothing but drama because you got drama going on in here. If you're disorganized in here, I know for a fact you're disorganized in real life. Your car is probably cluttered as hell. Your house is probably cluttered as hell, stuff just everywhere, no organization whatsoever. I already know, because that's what you got going on here. If you talk to yourself disrespectfully, I know for a fact you got people in your real life disrespecting the hell out you, because that's how you talk to yourself. People are only going to treat you how you treat yourself, because if you treated yourself with respect, the people who are disrespectful to you, they will just fall off. They'll get rid of themselves because you won't even tolerate that shit no more because you don't even tolerate it with you. I know I'm talking to somebody. Your internal world is always a reflection of your external. I can just see by the things that you do and the things that you say, and I already know what you got going on in here. I already know, and I'm never wrong. That's gonna have to change. The way you speak to yourself is going to have to change. If you wouldn't speak to a child like that, you should not be speaking to yourself like that. Unacceptable. Stop calling yourself stupid. You're not stupid. And it's not cute and it's not funny. One of the biggest distractions that I struggled with in my own journey was alcohol abuse. And I told you I started that toxic ass habit when I had that toxic ass job. And you would have thought that once I quit the job, then that problem would just go away. Ladies, let me tell you this. Your problems don't just go away. If you don't fix them, they just gradually get worse. My food problems, my weight, it was just getting worse. I was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. My alcohol problems just got worse. Because at least when I was at work, I couldn't be drunk for 8 hours because I had to work. Well, I quit my job during COVID. Everything is shut down. I had nothing but time to get drunk. See, I quit my job on a whim. I quit my job during COVID. Couldn't take it anymore. I had been there for 6 years. And I was just getting fed up. I didn't have any money saved up either. I just put in my 2-week notice and I was out the door. But my plan was I was gonna live off of my stimulus for a few months and my business would just kind of grow and it would take over. Now, granted, I don't have any kids, so I didn't have much stimulus in the first place. I had about $2,000 to my name. And mind you, I had just bought a house. I hadn't even been in the house for a whole year yet before I quit, but I was fed up. God told me, Jazz, quit now, quit now. This idea just kept beating inside of my head, just quit. So I quit. I really believe that was God telling me the time is now. So I quit. Now, again, I only had about $2,000, okay? And my mortgage was $1,900. Do the math, that won't get me far, but I didn't care. I knew it would just work out, so I quit. So I'm at home, doing all the things that you do. Watching the TikTok videos, watching the YouTube videos, just trying to make it all make sense. Digital products, content, monetization, algorithms, platforms. Trying to figure out how to grow this online business and make it work. But it's not working. I told you guys, the worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. Don't you ever forget that. See, I was convincing myself that I was being productive and doing the things that I'm supposed to do, when in fact, I wasn't. Because I was always drunk. So I was not posting every day. I was not going live. I was always drinking. That's the truth. But I had so much ego back then, and back then I'm perfect, right? Jasmine is perfect as is. There's nothing that I need to improve on. So it was never Jasmine's fault as to why things weren't working. It was always someone and something else. So it was YouTube. YouTube wasn't pushing my content. How can I sell my products if YouTube won't show my videos to people? It's Instagram. How can I sell my stuff if Instagram doesn't like me? The worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. And then I'm getting pissed off at God because I'm like, God, you told me to quit. You kept telling me the time is now. The time is now. I quit and I'm running out of money. I'm getting stressed and I'm getting pissed. I already made a payment arrangement with my lights. My light bill was $700. And if I didn't pay the bill on the day that we set, they were going to cut them off. There was no more payment arrangements to be made. I already missed one mortgage payment. If I missed another, they were going to start the process on foreclosure of a house I hadn't even been in yet for a whole year. I was stressed and I was pissed, but I didn't want to say to myself that it's my fault. I didn't want to admit to myself that the reason things aren't working out is because I'm always drunk. I didn't want to say I'm an alcoholic. Who wants to say that out loud? The shame, the guilt, the embarrassment. My ego couldn't handle that. Not back then. Absolutely not. So I just continued to lie to myself some more. I convinced myself that as long as I don't drink before 11 a.m., I'm not an alcoholic. Because see, in my mind, alcoholics, they start their day with alcohol. So if I wait till after 11, even though I drink all day, every day, as long as I don't start my day with alcohol, then I'm not an alcoholic. So there's nothing to talk about. I don't have a problem. What? Can't make this up, ladies. The worst lies are the lies that you tell yourself. But you get to a point where you can't keep running from you, because that's what you're doing. You are running from yourself. At some point, God is going to make you listen. You're going to hit a brick wall. I believe God is within you. He's not outside of you. So I have God within me. You have God within you. Those ideas that you get that's telling you, try this, do it this way, that's God talking to you, because he's within you. That intuition, that gut feeling that you get, that is God trying to warn you of something. But notice, we spend entirely too much time trying to avoid God. Yes, you do. See, it sounds good on paper, and it sounds good in conversation to say, oh, I listen to God. No, you don't. No, you don't. You spend time trying to avoid God. All those distractions that you hold on to, that's you trying to avoid. Because see, you already know deep down inside what you're supposed to be doing, but you just make the choice not to. If that's not true, let me ask you, be honest. How many ideas did God give you last week that you didn't even want to try? So last week, nothing inside of you said, you know what, let me make this video today. Let me post this today. Let me distance myself from this person today. Exactly. You made the choice not to listen. If that's not true, let me ask you this. How many times, be honest, did you go against your guts feeling, just to find out later you were right the whole time? We never want to listen to God. But eventually, he is going to make you listen, because you're going to hit a brick wall. And I'll never forget. I was sitting on my bed and I was crying, scared as hell. I was like, God, I'm about to lose my house. I don't have the money. God said, Jazz, what are you doing? What are you doing? You have been begging me for a business for years, which is true. I had been. He said, the opportunities are literally right in front of you and you're wasting it. So, what are you going to do? Are you going to keep doing what you've been doing, which is a whole bunch of nothing, or are you going to fix it? Are you going to change? I decided to fix it. I decided to change. I decided to stop drinking. I haven't had a drink in almost 5 years. I will never touch alcohol again. I am done. But since I decided to change, my whole life began to change. I started posting content consistently. My platform started growing. I started making sales, all because I decided to change. For the first time in my life, I started to say nice things to myself. I was now telling myself, I am proud of me. I'm smart. I'm beautiful. I never used to talk to myself like that. Never. And because I was reaching the goals that I had, for the first time in my life, I started to feel good about me. For the first time in my life, I started to have confidence in myself. All because I decided to change. See, what I didn't realize back then, and what a lot of people don't realize, is this. Ladies, in order to get something, you are going to have to give up something. You cannot have both. In order to get something, you have to give something up. In order for me to lose weight, I had to give up soda. I had to give up fast food. In order for me to get the business that I had been begging God for years, I had to give up excuses. I had to give up procrastination. I had to give up fear. I had to give up limiting beliefs. I had to give up negative self-talk. I had to give up distractions. I had to give up alcohol. But when I gave those things up, God opened the floodgates of heaven for me. God gave me everything I asked for and more. See, I had just asked God to help me make $60,000 a year to replace the job I had. And I even started negotiating that. I said, Lord, if you could help me make $45K a year, I'll cut the cable off, I'll make it work. Just please help me get out of this job. Please. God gave me 6 figures. I asked God to give me 1,000 Instagram followers because I don't even know 10 people. So I was like, if I could get 1,000 people to follow me, wow. God gave me 100,000 Instagram followers. I asked God for 5,000 YouTube subs. I don't know. I thought that was a lot. 5,000 people? God gave me 30,000 YouTube subscribers. I asked God for just a little bit of confidence so I could stop crying all the time and feeling sorry for myself. God gave me a lot of confidence. There's nothing I don't think I can't do. I keep all of the promises that I make to myself. I can't even remember the last time I cried. All because I decided to change. See, the woman I was back then didn't align with this version of me. I always wanted to be this version. This version of me is confident. She loves herself. She knows how to put herself first and not feel bad about it. She follows through. She's building her business, not worrying about what people think, has boundaries for herself, and doesn't allow toxic people into her life. But this version of me was buried under the fear, the limiting beliefs, the procrastination. And until I changed who I was never going to be this version of me. I was always there. I was always within, but it was buried. I had to change. I had to change. You are going to have to change because there's things about you that do not align. And the worst part about it all is this: we delay our own blessings. That's the truth. Because you have already told God what you want. You have manifested, you have done the vision boards. He's heard you loud and clear. He knows what side of town you want to live on. He knows how much money you want in savings. He knows what kind of trips you want to take. He knows what kind of freedom you want. He knows how much money you want to leave your children. He heard you loud and clear. But the problem is, he gives us free will. So in other words, you can do whatever the hell you want to do. He will not stop you. So if you want to waste 5 more years, he'll let you. You want to waste 10 more years, he'll let you. Some people never get all of their blessings because they refuse to change who they are. But when you do change, when you finally listen, when you become obedient, he opens the floodgates of heaven for you. He gives you every single thing that you asked for on a silver platter. And he is ready to bless the heck out of you. And sure, maybe change is hard. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's hard. Fine. But the life that you're currently living is hard. Crying every single day because you are unhappy is hard. I've been there. I've done that. I know. Dragging yourself to a job that you absolutely hate is hard. I have been there. I have done that. I know. Knowing deep down in your soul that there is something better for you, that you are meant for more, and you are not living it is hard. I've been there. I've done that. I know. I've lived both hards. But I will always choose this one. Because at least this hard comes with peace. This hard comes with purpose. This hard comes with freedom. This hard comes with happiness. This hard comes with confidence. And this hard comes with the income that you want to live the life that you want to live. I've told you time and time again this morning, anything that you want to do, you can do. There is no limitation on your greatness except the limitation that you put on yourself. And if you even thought the thought, that's because you can. So if you even thought about making content, that's because you can. If you even thought about starting a business, that's because you can. If you even thought about selling your products, that's because you can. Because if you couldn't, if God truly didn't believe that you were capable, he wouldn't have even allowed the thought to cross your mind. But it did. But in order to actually get it done, this time, you are going to have to let go of the fear. That fear is your comfort zone that you have been living in for so long. That comfort zone of yours that you refuse to let go of is draining you. It is depressing you. It is keeping you resentful. It is making you anxious. It is keeping you broke. You already know where that path leads you. Some of you have been on this path for a very long time and it's not getting you anywhere. You are gonna have to take a half an inch out of that comfort zone and do something a little bit different today. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. We tend to hang around people who are just like us. And the scary part is, that's not who we want to be. Half of the people that you associate yourself with aren't even people you would trade lives with, but they're just like you. You're gonna have to change. You are going to have to change. For those of you guys who want to change, then I want to help you. But I can only help people who want it. I can't help people who don't. If you are 1000% happy with your life and the direction it's going in, then fine, keep doing what you're doing. If you like it, I love it. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But if you're not 1000% happy, and you know deep down inside there are things about you that's holding you back, and you want to change it, then I want to help you. Inside Glow Up Academy, I'm going to teach you how to run your online business from scratch. I don't care what your starting point is. Maybe you want to sell an ebook or an e-course, private communities. Fine, I've made thousands off of private communities. I'll teach you. It's in there. Maybe you want to monetize your content. So you want to get paid for views, like how I do, how my students do, how thousands of other creators do. Fine, I'll teach you. All of my platforms are monetized. It's in there. Maybe you want to sell on TikTok Live, like how I do, how my students do, how thousands of other creators do. Fine, I'll teach you. It's all inside of Glow Up Academy. No matter what your dreams are for your business, you and I will build it together inside of Glow Up Academy. But not only am I going to teach you how to build your business from scratch, most importantly, I'm going to teach you how to build you. Because you are holding you back. Inside of Glow Up Academy, you and I are going to build your discipline together. Inside of Glow Up Academy, you and I are going to build your consistency together. Inside of Glow Up Academy, you and I are going to build your confidence together. Inside Glow Up Academy, you and I are going to start putting yourself first in your own life. You have 20 minutes a day to work on you and your goals. I'm not going to give you that excuse of you don't have time, because that's a bold-faced lie. The worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. If you have time to be caught up on your shows, if you have time to be on social media, then you have time to put yourself first. So however much time you have, you and I are going to figure it out, and you're going to do it. Glow Up Academy is the space where not only do you build your online business, but together you and I build you. So not only do you start today, you actually follow through. Now, before I let you guys join, a couple of things. Number one, believe it or not everybody has the same path, okay? Everyone's different. Some people have a product, no audience. Some people have an audience, but no product. Some people have a million ideas, but we got to lock in on one. So you're listening to all of the ideas God gave you, but you're spreading yourself way too thin and you're trying to do everything at once, but that's why nothing's getting done. You and I got to pick your most favorite idea. What is the thing that you want to accomplish first? And whatever that is, you and I will do it. And then once that is flourishing, then we'll reach back into your pile and build something else. I told you guys, we can't allow ourselves to feel overwhelmed. When you feel overwhelmed, that's when you freeze and nothing gets done. So we got to take baby steps, okay? And then some of you guys have no clue what you want to do, and that's fine. We'll figure it out together. And some of you guys don't want to start a business right now. There's other things that you want to work on, like you want to work on your weight loss. You want to work on putting yourself first, removing toxic people. Whatever it is, we will do it together. I have just noticed that when I have more than 10 people join at one time, it tends to overwhelm me because I want to make sure I'm able to pour into everyone the way that they deserve. So I cap it at 10 and I don't allow more people to join until I'm ready to accept new members, okay? Something else too, Glow Up Academy, I only want to help people who want it. I'm not here to convince you and I'm not here to force you. And I don't even have the ability to do that, okay? I'm gonna set a timer for 10 minutes and the woman who knows that she wants help, those are the women who move, okay? And that's who I'm here to help. You may not know how to change and you don't have to know how because I'm going to show you. But you know you want it deep down in your soul, okay? So when the timer starts, just move. Stop overthinking because overthinking doesn't get you anywhere. And deep down inside, you know exactly what you want to do. So don't overthink it. Just move. And you know I can help you. That's why you're still here. Also, Glow Up Academy is lifetime access. So once you're inside forever. All right, so you will always have access to all the information that I put in there and what I update every single month because the platforms are constantly changing. So you'll always have access to all of that stuff. You'll also always have access to our live coaching calls. You'll also always have access to ask me any questions, anything that you're struggling with, any feedback that you want. I'm literally one message away. I respond to all of my students, and I'm always checking in with you to make sure that you're executing the plan that you and I set for you, okay? And also lives, right? Sometimes you have to step away from things, but you're always able to return. There's no time limit on Glow Up Academy, okay? One of my members, she lost her husband, so she's taking some time to grieve, and then she'll be back when she's ready. And because Glow Up Academy is lifetime access, she doesn't have to worry about losing anything. We'll pick up right where we left off, okay? So because Glow Up Academy is lifetime access, you and I are locked in forever, it's $597, okay? Now, I'm going to take the price down, and the lifetime access price will stay down for 10 minutes. You can use Afterpay or Klarna to break that payment up, but once that timer goes off, we're back at $597, and it is worth every single penny of $597. Women join at $597 every single day. But because you listened, you took notes, and most importantly, you promised you were going to execute, we'll keep the price down for 10 minutes. Okay, so don't overthink. Don't wait till the timer goes off. Don't wait till I end the live and then message me, ask me to lower it. No, women try it and I don't. And then they join at $597 because you knew what you wanted to do, but you allowed yourself to overthink. You allowed fear to take over, and now you got to pay the price at $597. Okay, so just move. Okay. I'm gonna show TikTok how to join first. YouTube, y'all's instructions are a little bit different, so just kind of hang tight for a few seconds. TikTok, in order for you guys to lock in, you guys are gonna click on my profile picture up at the top twice. You're gonna come to my profile. Now, TikTok number one, the one that says turn your phone into an ATM, y'all are on my main account, so it doesn't look like this, but the link is still the same, okay? You're gonna click where it says stand.store right here in my bio. And then here we are. Become the woman who actually follows through. And it is marked down for the next 10 minutes from $5.97 to $2.49. Scroll down, feel free to read my reviews, I don't mind. Enter your name and quadruple check your email address. You guys, the email that you put in is where everything is going. Sometimes the autocorrect gets you, so it might invert some numbers or letters, whatever. Please make sure you quadruple check that, because what you put in is where it's going. You can use Afterpay or Klarna to break that payment up, and then click on this blue button right here that says Start My Glow Up. Within 30 seconds, tops, you should be receiving that very first email from Stan, okay? Really 10 seconds, but let's give it 30. If you don't get that email within 30 seconds, that's because there was a spelling mistake, but no worries, we'll fix it right here on live. I'll correct it and then send it to you manually, all right? So please do not leave the live until you confirm to me that you received your email, because I don't know what your email is supposed to be. So I don't know if it was misspelled. Some of y'all join and then leave and then you don't get it, but I didn't know that because you didn't tell me, okay? So please quadruple check that for me. All right, YouTube, in order for you guys to lock in, your instructions are a little bit different. And I see you guys joining, just hang tight for a few seconds. I'm gonna be sending out that second email in a second. YouTube, in order for you guys to lock in, you have to leave my live. You're gonna come to my YouTube channel and click on this link right here that says stand.store. And then here we are. Become the woman who actually follows through. Same thing, scroll down, it's already marked down to $2.49. Scroll down, enter your name and quadruple check your email address. You can use Afterpay or Klarna, and then click on this blue button that says Start My Glow Up, okay? All right, now, once you guys are inside, I wanna show you, there is an inbox icon right here, all right? After I get off of live, so in 10 minutes, I'm gonna be sending out messages to you guys because I wanna know more about you. What are you struggling with? What have you tried? What have you not tried? What are your ideas? I wanna know everything there is to know so that you and I can start fixing it. I can't help if I don't know what needs to be fixed. Now, I understand some of you guys are going to be out with your family, some of you guys are at work, so you can't respond right now, but I need you to promise me that before you go to bed tonight, you're going to take some time and respond because we gotta execute. But I can't help you create a plan for your life and with your responsibilities if I don't know what is going to work best for you. Everybody is different, okay? So please make sure you respond. There's gonna be a message icon right here. So make sure you respond to my message, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and start our timer now. And for the second email that you guys are going to be getting, one second. Okay, the timer has started. The second email that you guys are going to be getting is going to be coming from me. It says Jasmine Spencer. That second email is going to have a yellow button inside that says join now. I need you to click it and confirm to me that you are fully inside of Glow Up Academy so that I can send you your message so we can start executing and getting things done, okay? So please make sure you physically join now, okay? All right, I see some of you guys had joined, so just hold on one second. I'm about to send out that second email now. Bear with me. Kennedy, that's a pretty name. Can you check your email for me, please? Okay. April. Check that email for me, please. I'm waiting on Kennedy and April. You guys, please do not leave my live until you confirm that you received everything. Yes, so everything business is inside of Glow Up Academy, but let me tell you guys this. 90% of the women that I help, and men, most of my students are women, but I do have some men inside of Glow Up Academy. 90% of the women who I help, we're building confidence. I am more of a life coach than I am a business coach. I used to think I was a business coach, but honestly, I'm more of a life coach because believe it or not, it doesn't matter how much business strategies I give you if you don't have confidence in yourself. It doesn't matter how many templates I give you if you don't even think you're worthy of 30 minutes a day to get it done. Glow Up Academy is a space where we build our identity, our new identity, not the version of you that you used to be, but the woman that you're becoming. Okay? Some of y'all, so many things have transpired in life, and you don't even realize how much of it you still haven't healed from. And it shows up in your day-to-day and how you treat yourself and the things that you say to yourself and the things that you tolerate within yourself and from others. And so Glow Up Academy is a space where we rebuild all of that. Because once the confidence is 100, you're doing all the things. You're going live. You're telling people no. You're cutting people off who are disrespectful to you. You're gonna make time for yourself. No ifs, ands, or buts, and you're not gonna feel bad about it. So we have to build that first, because I could tell you exactly what to say in your videos. I could tell you exactly what to say on your lives, but if you care too much about what people think of you, you're still not gonna do it. If you don't want to tell people no, you're still not gonna do it. So, you could have all the business strategies and they're all in there. I don't mind telling you how I've grown my business. I have no problem with that. It's all in there. But 90% of what I've been helping women with the most is confidence. It's follow through. It's committing to the plan and not the mood. Okay? Absolutely. Thank you. Okay, so you are inside. April, I'm still waiting on April. You guys, please don't leave until you let me know. And like I said, we got 5 more minutes, Kennedy, and then once we get off, I'm gonna be sending you that message. Just kind of hang tight for a few seconds. April, I'm not sure what live she's on. Yeah, please don't leave until you confirm that you've received everything. Okay, we have a few more minutes left. Let me show you guys again. TikTok, you're gonna click on my profile picture up at the top twice. You can come to my profile and click where it says Standout Store. Don't forget TikTok #1, y'all are on my main account, so it doesn't look like this, but the link is still the same, okay? And then YouTube, you have to leave the live. You said you didn't? Okay, give me 1 second. You have to leave the live and then click on the link that says Standout Store. And then here we are. Become the woman who actually follows through, okay? And it's marked down for 4 more minutes to 2:49. You can use Afterpay or Klarna to break that payment up. Enter your name, quadruple check your email address. You can use Afterpay or Klarna to break that down. And then click the blue button that says Start My Glow Up. And then within a few seconds, you should be receiving that. Tanashi, I don't see you. If you guys, if you open the website but then click off, I need you to refresh the page before you go all the way through, because it's going to try to prevent frauds and scams. So if you open the website but then you didn't carry it all the way through, and now you're going to, make sure you hit refresh on the website and then put in all the information, okay? So please make sure you are doing that. All right, we have a few more seconds. April, she might not even be on here no more. Y'all, please don't leave me till you confirm that you got everything. Okay, I'll give you guys a few more seconds. I take action towards my goals every day. I take action towards my goals every day. That's what they use to sit still. Which part? I take action towards my goals every day. Every day. Whether it's responding to comments, whether it's planning out what kind of content you're going to make, whether it's editing a quick reel, I don't care what it is. Every day. I cannot stress this enough. You become so accustomed to saying, I don't have time, you don't even think about what you're saying. Because if you have time to watch my content, because some of y'all are repeat watchers, if you have time to watch my videos, then you have time to put in for yourself. I don't allow that excuse. I don't allow that excuse. Not over here. Take those excuses somewhere else, because those excuses will not get you anywhere. You do have time. People make time for what they want to. And I need you to have the desire to want to make time for you because you're worthy too. Your happiness is important too. Your goals are important too. But this is why I stress the importance of confidence, because some of you don't even believe that, which means we have to develop that self-esteem. We have to develop that confidence so that you can fully understand that and so that you can embody that, okay? You do have time to work on your goals. However, you make the choice not to. And that's the problem, okay? I am deserving of every bit of love, joy, and positivity that comes my way. I am deserving of every bit of love, joy, and positivity that comes my way. Absolutely. Ooh, I have the strength to overcome any setbacks. I have the strength to overcome, any setbacks. You don't even realize how resilient you are. Don't even have a clue. You don't even realize how strong you are. Everyone's lives, but you overcame it because you can. So if you can overcome that, then you can overcome this. And the beauty of business is you can monetize anything. Nothing is stupid. So whatever your passions are, sell it. You sell it. Because 9 times out of 10, there is someone somewhere who is struggling with the same thing that you're struggling with. And they need someone to help them. They need somebody to inspire them. They need someone to guide them. And for those of you guys who are confused on what to sell, well, ask yourself, what kind of transformation did you go on? Did you go on a weight loss transformation? Did you go on a spiritual transformation? Whatever it was, well, maybe that's the answer. Maybe that's the answer. You can use your experiences to teach others. What did you learn? How did you transform? And whatever that is, that's what you create the content around, okay? That was our timer. That's what you create the content around. That's what you create your product around, okay? Very good. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Make sure you guys follow me so you do not lose me, because I do steal my videos and make fake accounts. For those of you guys who did join Glow Up Academy, I'm hopping in now. You'll be getting a message from me in the next few minutes. For those of you guys who didn't, I'm glad that you're getting the results that you want. But remember, action. Watching does not change. Action is what changes, okay? So I'm happy that you're getting the results that you want, but if you're still in that loop of watching, nothing changes until you change. You're gonna have to take action, okay? Okay. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your Saturday, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, YouTube.